In communities across the country, hourly Amazon employees earn an average of over $23 an hour, with opportunities to grow their career and their paycheck. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, this might surprise you, it might not, but in a survey, 93% of pilots admit to naps on the job, as in the cockpit during flights. Now, 12% said they nap every time, 44% said they do it regularly, and 33% just said they occasionally doze off. Now, to be fair, they don't do it during takeoff or landing, and according to every commercial pilot that we have ever talked to on this program, with autopilot, planes pretty much fly themselves. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for light rails. Yeah, we go to San Francisco, where a light rail operator fell asleep at the controls while the train went around a curve at 50 miles per hour. Just so you know, the average speed for curves in downtown San Francisco is 8 to 10 miles per hour. Now, the operator did wake up, either because of the violent jolting or the screaming passengers. It's hard to know. But luckily, there were only minor injuries. Meanwhile, in Texas, a man fell asleep and set himself on fire when he dropped his cigarette in his lap. And look, I've done that myself. I've not burst into flames, but I've awoken to a few telltale holes and pairs of shorts and the occasional pairs of pants. But look, it happens to all of us. Sometimes you just fall asleep at an important time. It happens to the best of us. But other times, you intentionally go to sleep like a normal person. It's bedtime, so you go to bed, only to be attacked by a lion. And yes, I admit, that does not happen much, but it doesn't happen never. It happened to a guy in Turkey after a lion escaped from the lion enclosure at the zoo. Yeah, he woke up to getting mauled. He died later at the hospital. But look, there's nothing you can do about sleep. You're going to fall asleep at some point. Even that meth head who's been awake for 15 weeks straight, at some point, they're going to fall asleep. And sometimes when you fall asleep, weird things happen. And that's what we want to talk about today. Our question, quite simply, is why is sleep important to the story?
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live. Send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com, and now watch the show live on YouTube at KISW.
To remind you that 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, here's John from Devil Dog Pet Company.
We run our family business from Sterling Heights, Michigan, but we can reach customers all over the country thanks to Amazon. Good boy.
Shop small business on Amazon.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
¿Buscas las ofertas de Early Black Friday en Lowe's? Estás justo a tiempo. Ahorra hasta 50% en electrodomésticos selectos y hasta 25% extra en combos de electrodomésticos selectos. ¿Estás pensando ya en poner luces navideñas? Aprovecha ahorros de hasta 50% en escaleras selectas. Precios de Black Friday sin las filas de Black Friday. Lowe's, nosotros ayudamos, tú ahorras. Válido hasta el 11/19. Selección varía por tienda, solo en tiendas selectas hasta agotar existencias. Detalles en lowes.com.
No matter what you give, your donations can do so much more with a donor-advised fund from DAF Giving 360. You can potentially grow your charitable dollars tax-free and give now or over time by donating cash, publicly traded securities, or non-cash assets like real estate and crypto. With over 25 years of expertise bringing donors, financial advisors, and charities together, DAF Giving 360 can help you make a greater impact. Learn more at dafgiving360.org. dafgiving360.org.
You rock.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
That explains it. Home Patrol's away we go. Welcome to the 20th anniversary season, episode number 4,426. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. The exciting return of Who Sucks Less coming up at 4:30. Steve, I don't know how you do it. You find people doing messed up stuff in the news every week.
Yeah, it's tough to do, man, because the news is always so good and robust with positive things.
It really is. Is there a theme to this week's Who Sucks Less?
Not really, but you remember the game Duck, Duck, Goose?
What are the rules?
I think you sat down in a circle.
Sit in a circle.
And one person stood up and they walked around and patted you. Duck, duck, duck. When they say goose, I guess it's kind of like musical chairs. You ran around, whatever the hell.
Okay.
But not Duck, Duck, Goose, but today, Mike, I think you'll appreciate this. Doc, Break.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that works. Yeah, so
Okay.
Doc, Break.
Who Sucks Less is coming up right at 4:30. Before that, we do have a very special holiday announcement for you. Yeah. Good times ahead. We'll do that about 4:30ish, right before we do Who Sucks Less coming up on the program. And today we're going to talk about sleep and why sleep was important to the story, whether you were awakened in the middle of the night for some weird random crap because something was going on when you were sleeping, to you falling asleep, to other people falling asleep. It's all going to be about sleep today. And we all get in uncomfortable situations when it comes to sleep.
Yeah.
And I've been in many of them.
Sure.
Some while driving. Back to Ted, you're talking about almost choking over the weekend. One of my biggest fears also was falling asleep at the wheel.
Yep.
In certain instances, when I lived in Maryland for a while, I would drive back to my hometown of Morgantown, see my brother, see my mom, whatever. But I got off the air at midnight.
Right.
And it was a 3-hour drive. And, there were times where I would get, 2/3 of the way there to Garrett County, Maryland, to that area where Glen Cannon's from.
Yeah.
Big mountains, rough terrain as far as snow and everything.
Not
else.
much traffic.
And can you even get good radio reception based on that?
Yeah, you could because you're on top of a mountain. I mean, but it's sporadic as hell. But, yeah, to keep you up, that would be helpful. I think I probably had a cassette deck, doing one of those deals back in the day.
But I found with music, man, to me, you need to put on music you hate, and that helps me stay. Because you're driving angry. They're like, why are you listening to this? Like, because I don't like it, right? If I put on stuff I like, I'm going to fall asleep.
There was all the old tricks, right? Roll down the window. Try to stay cold.
And believe it or not, man, like 25, 26 years old, at that stage of my life and being on the East Coast, much different culture as far as just coffee drinking. I didn't drink coffee. I was guzzling Mountain Dews because that's what people did in West Virginia. We didn't have a Red Bull. You rolled down the window, you kept your head out every once in a while trying to wake up, and you're just guzzling Mountain Dews the entire way. I mean, that was the way that if I'd have just known, then I could have pulled into a convenience store and got a hot coffee.
Especially the coffee in convenience stores on the East Coast. So that stuff poured like molasses. Like, you knew it was jet black.
Yeah.
It poured like maple syrup, but it served its purpose.
Right. Now, my car at the time had right side damage. I had street parked and someone had swiped my car.
Yeah.
Probably drunk at Sunnyside, where West Virginia University is, where the student housing is. So the whole right side of my car looked like someone just completely scraped down the side of it. Not a big deal. Car's still drivable. Whatever the deal is. I still had not gotten enough money to get that thing replaced.
And when you do get the money, is that really what you want to spend it on?
No.
Exactly.
So I'm on 70. 70? I think I'm on 70. Or 68, driving west. And I fall asleep at the wheel. And I hear, I must have taken my foot off the gas, thank God. But my right side of that car is scraping along the guardrail on the side of a mountain, which just goes all the way off the side to, blackness that you can't even see. It's just a cliff. It's like going up Snoqualmie Pass. And I mean, that scared the living bejesus out of me. And I got out of the car, and I looked at the side of my car. It looked the same.
I was going to say, at least it's the same side.
Like the damage wasn't any worse, really. There was a couple more scrapes on it, but it didn't look any better for the worse. But I swear to God, man, that absolutely threw my mind into a panic. Like my heart was racing. Mm-hmm. I started to get a tension headache in my shoulders when I was driving. Like,
yeah,
it just
sucks.
It freaked me.
But it also helps you stay awake from that point on, doesn't it?
It does. Last week we brought you the story of the judge.
I think when you get older too, you'll be smart enough.
You are.
I've been on a road trip where, like, my buddy was super pissed. And I said, look, I know you're mad. And I said I'd drive for the next 8 hours. I said, but I just woke up behind the wheel.
Oh.
I think I dozed off for like 2 seconds. I said, either you have to drive or we've got to stop for like an hour.
It's terrifying.
To take a nap.
It's absolutely terrifying. I've done some other dumb stuff where I've fallen asleep before. This is ridiculous. But one time, I took the bus home, I think from a concert down at CenturyLink, or it might have been at T-Mobile. I don't know. Anyway, I get on the bus, and the last thing I remember is that we get to Ballard, or it was Ballard or Fremont. Either way, the bridge is up.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's up, like up. And I'm just looking like, oh, my God. And I fell asleep. Now, I am literally just a few blocks away from my house. If it was a Fremont bridge, I can't remember because when I woke up, I didn't know where I was. I was essentially basically up in Shoreline.
Yeah.
When I woke up on the bus. This is now 1 o'clock in the morning.
I've done
12:30
a million times, and the driver always does it. Hey, buddy, it's the end of the line. After the last time it happened, hey, buddy, it's the end of the line. I'm like, okay, well, can I just ride the bus back south again to get where I'm going? Do you have fare? I said, I don't, man.
Can you give me a transfer?
I don't.
You can't
have
give
fare.
somebody a transfer at the end of the line?
No, the dude he wasn't mean about it, but I was asked pleasantly that I had to get off the bus. I'm like, bro, I fell asleep. And he's like, hey, dude, this is not my problem. You got to stay awake. And it's happened a billion times. I will say, oddly enough, in Baltimore, they were nicer about it. They almost didn't care. They came to check to see if your ass was alive. If you were alive, they were like, cool, I'm going to head back. Just make sure you stay awake and get off at your stop. I'm like, okay. In Seattle, the few times it's happened, they're like, nope, won't do it.
Hey, look, I did it a few times on the light rail, but Northgate used to be the last stop.
So
they would just wake you up and go, hey, you got to get off. Like, no sweat, I got to get off here anyhow.
Well, now, brother,
you're in Linwood.
Right. That would be a problem.
They say there's so much unnecessary stress in transportation from going to point A to point B. Light rail seems like it'd be smoother than doing a lot of things. A video has just been released from an incident that happened back in September, the 24th in San Francisco, where a light rail train flew into a curve at a high speed and severely jolted the passengers. It was going about 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Which is way higher than the average speed of 8 to 10 miles an hour. The operator had apparently dozed off. Now, in the video, you can see the driver, who was slumped over before being shaken awake during the rough turn.
Have you seen the video?
I have not.
Okay, just understand, when they show the video, they're kind of leaning back. Then you see them hunched over. Now your chin's on your chest, all right? This light rail starts taking its turn. When you look back in the cockpit of the light rail, keep in mind, the passengers are screaming and they're flying all over the place. When I go back to the cockpit, the driver, it's one of those things where, when you're so tired that no one can wake you up kind of thing. So you see them fly to the right, and they fly to the left. I think it's when their head banged into the window. This is the driver.
Okay.
That they actually woke up and put on the brake. They slept through this whole thing.
Driver managed to regain control, slow the train to a stop. Passengers were shrieking and screaming. So the driver opened the door to the first car and said, quote, I'm sorry, relax. We didn't crash, relax. The train did not, in fact, derail. Passengers did think it might. So emergency crews were dispatched to the scene. Most passengers were okay, some with minor bumps, bruises, but at least one person claims they slammed their head, and they were treated for a concussion. After the investigation, officials confirmed that the cause was, quote, operator fatigue.
Yes.
They also said the operator had been placed on non-driving status. They said safety is a priority, blah, 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 blah. Either way.
The other thing about that video, there's two different videos, all right? So there's the one from the train, and you see the driver, you see the passengers. Then there's another video from someone who's on the street who has their cell phone out. The train is downtown, all right? So when this thing makes this turn, which is the moment that the driver...
Is this the BART?
I believe so.
Okay.
So this thing, it comes
I can't tell
screaming.
because there's the BART, and they keep calling it the light rail.
So it's their light rail.
Maybe two different things.
But this thing comes screaming around this turn. And when you watch the video from the cell phone, a car had to slam on its brakes and jerk to the right so as to not get hit by the train. People ran out of the way. Like, it's worse than just the video you get from the train. When you see the street view, you're like, Jesus Christ, man.
Mm-hmm.
Almost plowed into like 3 cars, a bunch of people. But the driver...
She is just out.
That's what I mean. She's bouncing all over the thing, man. I'm like, how is she not woken up yet? That is some hard sleeping, man.
That is. I will say, that is amazing that light rail could stay on that track.
Did you see the cell phone footage from outside?
No, this is just showing inside and then her.
Okay, I'm telling you,
at one point,
when you see outside, it's even worse.
I'm trying to see if I can get the moment. Like, it's cruising up there, but I mean, she is. When they cut back to her, she is just out.
We go to Corpus Christi, Texas. They said you've all heard the expression, "Where's the fire?" when someone's in a rush. But Corpus Christi Police Department officers found the fire had literally been on the man's pants in an uptown neighborhood on Friday night.
See what I'm saying? She is just out.
She is out.
Police got a call for help at 7:20 in the evening. During the call, the man told officers he fell asleep while smoking. When he woke up, his pants were on fire. They said they found the man in South Staples Street with injuries to his groin area.
Yeah.
He was taken to a local hospital for treatment. There's no word on his condition, which reminds me of a time. And, Ted, you were somewhat involved on this that night. We've told the story before. I've only tried OxyContin one time.
Yeah.
In my life. We were in Baltimore. And one of the guys we worked with, I traded him for some weed. And he, believe me, this guy was one of those guys who could do oxys all day long.
He could not do weed.
He could not smoke weed to the point. At one point, I can't remember if it was that if he called or it was the next day at work, but he said he sat through like 3 red light cycles.
Yeah,
well, people honking at him
somewhere downtown. I don't know if he just zoned out, passed out, whatever. But at any rate, for whatever reason, like we'll try them. They're like 5 instant release or whatever the deal is. So we try them. We're going to meet Ted up at a bar, and we go down there. We could barely walk into the bar. We could not operate the cigarette machine, which
that's the part, right? So I'm in the bar, right? And I'm sitting kind of at a booth that we always sat at, right?
Yeah.
So I could see, people, you walk into a bar and there's the first 2 doors, a little bit of a hallway. There's a cigarette machine. But you guys were out there for like 10 minutes.
We didn't have the strength to pull the... It's one of those you drop your quarter in and you actually pull the lever back like a pinball machine. I think that's when I finally kind of opened the door and went, what in the F are you two idiots doing?
Now, sometimes you really enjoy drugs.
Sure.
This is one of those times where I do not like that buzz. I don't like, that's not the direction I like to go. I just don't like to be not in full control of what's going on around me. That's pretty well where I was. And I felt like just nervous all the time. So have a few beers, do whatever we do, go back home, take said smokes, and I'm lying down on my couch, and I'm smoking a cigarette inside.
Yeah.
Which is what I did at the time. Anyway, probably not the smartest idea when it's 11:30 at night. I'm watching television, all the lights are off, and I'm sitting there, I'm smoking a cigarette. And I fell asleep. Now, I had a blanket over my legs, and this blanket was the softest, most comfortable, had a VU emblem in the middle.
All right.
It was just a nice big throw blanket. It was awesome. And I wake up to my knees feeling a little bit warm. And I had my knees up, I guess, and the blanket was over top of them like a tent. And I guess I just dropped my hand down into the blanket with a cigarette. Now, the way this thing burned was it burned like looking at a solar eclipse.
Okay.
Right. So, like when I open my eyes, I can smell all the crap. And there's this huge, perfect circle. But it's got this red outline on the entire perimeter of it.
Yeah.
It was slowly burning out. And my hand has now fallen through the hole in the middle. Cigarette's out, by the way.
Yeah.
Somehow, either I don't know if the blanket...
Probably knocked the cherry off.
Whatever happened. But I mean, as soon as I woke up, one of those little edges kind of flared up and started to fire again. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm in an apartment building. I'm in the bottom floor. Like, I could have lit the entire building on fire. Immediately got up, took the blanket to the dumpster, washed it in the bathtub real quick to make sure it was out.
Right.
Ran up, throw it away. I'm just like, I couldn't go to bed that night. I mean, honestly, I could not. I was so shaken again. Sometimes my anxiety, my heart's racing like crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I could have caught myself on fire.
I think that's the most dangerous part of smoking, if you're also a drinker. Maybe still summertime, but I mean, just this summer, smoke out front, got my little thing under the covered porch, and the last thing I do before I go to bed is smoke a cigarette. I knew I was drunk. That's not that unfamiliar to me, but typically I can get through a cigarette, but I guess I was that hammered. But I woke up to the feeling, not quite a fire, but it had burned through my pants, and it's a pair of pants I like, by the way. But it burned a perfect hole, but it had burned through my underwear and dropped onto my pubes. And when it hit my pubes, they didn't quite burst into flames, but clearly probably smoldering like your blanket. Yeah. That's what woke me up. So you wake up, right, and you jump up quick, and you're just out there pounding your junk. And I'm like, just go to bed. Just put the cigarette out. But I'm more disappointed that I wasted a cigarette than anything else. And then the next morning, because you kind of forget that this has happened when you wake up, and I grab my shorts, and I'm looking at them. And again, it was a pair of shorts I liked. And just that crispy big-ass hole. And I'm like, God damn it. But it's your own fault, right? No one to blame.
I mean, look, I have a
except yourself.
hoodie I love, right? It's a Patagonian one. I've had it for years. But there's one perfect hole on it where somebody was just talking, and dude just burnt a hole. Like,
oh, they burnt it in yours?
Right, same thing. It took me a second. I was like, ah, damn. Mm-hmm. And he was just sitting there chatting away with the cig. But, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Somehow they burn, like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I could look at those shorts and be like,
it's a cigarette. There's nothing else, right?
Yeah.
But at least I just lose your hoodie. I don't ruin it.
So our question, why?
Tell that story this weekend.
Why is sleep important to the story? 206-803-ROCK.
In communities across the country, hourly Amazon employees earn an average of over $23 an hour, with opportunities to grow their career and their paycheck. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is... me!
That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
¿Buscas las ofertas de Early Black Friday en Lowe's? Estás justo a tiempo. Ahorra hasta 50% en electrodomésticos selectos y hasta 25% extra en combos de electrodomésticos selectos. ¿Estás pensando ya en poner luces navideñas? Aprovecha ahorros de hasta 50% en escaleras selectas. Precios de Black Friday sin las filas de Black Friday. Lowe's, nosotros ayudamos, tú ahorras. Válido hasta el 11/19. Selección varía por tienda, solo en tiendas selectas hasta agotar existencias. Detalles en Lowe's.com.
No matter why you give, your donations can do so much more with a donor-advised fund from DAF Giving 360. You can get a tax deduction upon funding an account, and your assets can potentially grow tax-free as you recommend when and where to give. It's a tax-smart way to maximize your charitable giving from a fund with over 25 years of experience, bringing donors, financial advisors, and charities together. Make a greater impact with DAF Giving 360. Learn more at dafgiving360.org.
Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK from the Pinky's Plumbing Studio. You're in the men's room.
Are you special?
Yes.
At 4:30, we have a special announcement.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
4:30 coming up on the program. Yeah. Very special announcement. In the meantime, our question, why is sleep important to the story? 206-803-ROCK.
Sometimes special's good, sometimes it's bad.
It really depends on the context of the word, right?
Special forces badass.
Yeah.
You know?
Other times, not so much.
Not the compliment you want to get.
That kid's special.
I know I told this years ago, man, but early 20s, like five of us share a house. And one of the things we always did as young men are prone to do, you just play pranks on each other, right? Whatever you're going to do. And our typical night, everyone drank their face off, whatever. Go up to your room, go to sleep, pass out. And at that time, I just had a mattress on the floor, had the sheets and all that. I wake up the next morning, And between my mattress and the door to my bedroom, which is closed, there is a Rottweiler sleeping. Now, the big problem with this is I did not know anyone at the time that had a Rottweiler at all, okay? And certainly none of us that lived in the house did. So I'm laying in bed, and I'm being as quiet as I can, and I'm just laser focused on this dog that's sleeping directly in front of my door. So it's not even like I could open the door without touching the Rottweiler and waking it up. And I'm going through my mind, and I'm mad at everyone in the house. Because first I'm like, Tony, you son of a bitch. Nah, it's probably going to be Paul. That's Leon. Leon's the guy. And then again, I'm like, but we don't know anyone with a Rottweiler, but it is in my room, and it is sleeping, and I'm laying in bed, and at some point, I need to get out of bed to go to work. But I don't know how to do this, right? Because I don't know if this dog is nice. I do not know if it's mean, but either way, I don't want to find out alone in my room. And there's really no way to open the door.
It's a big dog. You don't want to have to wake it up.
It is a very, very large dog.
Right.
And there it is, dead asleep directly in front of my door. I could go out the window, but I'm on the third floor of a row home, right? And even then you got 12-foot ceiling, so it's even higher than normal. And there's no yard. You just drop to the sidewalk, so that's out. So I lay in bed. I'm honestly got for like 45 minutes just staring at this thing like, who snuck this in while I'm asleep? Where's this dog from? And at this point, it's no longer funny to me. And I'm even going through my own head like, I would not pull this prank on someone. I might put a Chihuahua in front of the door, but I'm not putting a Rottweiler, man. You know what I mean? And again, I don't know where it came from. After about 45 minutes, I slowly kind of slither off my mattress. I still don't want to touch the dog yet, but I'm trying to get a better view of it. And my relief when I realized it was my crumpled up black leather jacket.
Yeah.
It was not a dog at all. It's just, but I don't know why I thought it was a dog. Maybe that's just kind of the shape it took. Obviously, I just pulled it off, threw it at my door, but the way it landed, it looked like a sleeping dog. And because of the size of the jacket, the way it kind of bubbled up, it looked huge, man. So for 40, and I was late for work, by the way. So when you get to work late and they ask you why you're late, I was very honest about it. My boss just looked at me like, are you stupid? I'm like, maybe, ma'am, but I honest to God thought that it was a Rottweiler. And I ended up not getting in trouble because he said, I believe you. Said that story is so stupid, I believe you. So I couldn't even make that up.
Why is sleep important to the story? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Murphy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, how you doing?
Hola.
Hola, Kimosabi.
Very native of you.
So, me and a couple friends go to Orlando to go to Disneyland, and we get back to the hotel, and one of our friends is so tired he just goes to sleep. And we go down to the bar. We hang out with the bartender for a little while. The bar closes. We take her up to our room and party a little bit. I go in the bedroom with her. I do my business. I come out. My friend goes in there, and I sit on the couch, and I fall asleep. I wake up later on, and she's singing karaoke La La. And I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
See, I've never had that experience.
No.
As many times as I've gone to sleep, I've never just woken up that way.
This is the bartender at the hotel bar?
Yes, she was. Yeah.
Nice.
What kind of magical power do you possess?
Right. I'm trying because like dudes probably hit on her all the time from out of town. What was your game that happened?
Well, when I was 23, I got laid a lot. They said I looked like Peter Frampton. I could go in any bar any night and not go home alone.
Wow.
Lucky you.
All right.
Do people say you look like Peter Frampton?
No, not anymore.
All right. Okay. What do you look like now?
Peter Frampton.
Peter Frampton is 65 years old.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably looks like Peter Frampton
He's
now.
still a good-looking guy. You know.
He's not bad looking, but, back in the day.
Well, chicks like Peter Frampton.
They definitely like Peter Frampton.
That was their
Yes.
artist back in the day. In a survey, 93% of pilots admit to taking a nap on the job. There's a new norm in the skies. Snoozing
Admit to.
pilots. Yes. A survey in the German Pilot Union revealed that nearly all participating German pilots have dozed off during flights in recent months.
Yeah, I go to sleep now.
A habit the union calls a worrying reality amid mounting fatigue in the aviation industry. Of the more than 900 pilots surveyed, 93% admitted to sleeping during flights. Specifically, 12% they nap every time they fly.
Every time.
44% say they do it on the regular. And 33% said, occasionally. The union, by the way, represents around 10,000 pilots, cockpit staff, stressed that the survey isn't statistically representative.
Then why'd you take a survey if you don't believe that your numbers are accurate?
But then they got the results and found out the troubling fatigue issues. They said what started as a safety measure, short recovery naps, has now become routine, driven by staff shortages and increased operational demands, especially during busy travel periods. The union clarified the practice referred to controlled rest phases during the flight phase. I can understand this.
Controlled rest phases.
On some very long flights. I told you, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, Miles watches enough of
air disasters
that you realize, like, basically getting that thing in the air to a cruising altitude, then landing it is like the hard part.
Yeah, that's the thing. Most of these guys are sleeping when it's just going through the sky. And like I said, every commercial pilot we've ever talked to on the show said, look, with autopilot, man, there's not a lot. Even if I'm awake, I'm kind of not doing anything because there's nothing happening. Your trajectory's correct, blah, blah, blah. And if the flight staff needs to get to you, they'll wake you up. And also they have all the alarms and stuff. So like, look, taking off and landing are the tricky parts. Once it's in the air, that's why, look, if you got on a Cessna with somebody and say, hey, can I take the controls? If they're in the air, they say, sure, sit down. Don't touch this, this, and this. But because it's hard to F that part up. If you said, hey, can I try landing? They're going to say no, right? Absolutely. So I completely get it, man. I would too. Wouldn't you? Yeah. That's some long-ass international flight. There's nothing going on. Autopilot's on. They got the alarm. Although there was a story about 6 months ago, somewhere in Europe, I believe, but both the pilot and the co-pilot fell asleep. I think the radio went down or something, but they could not wake them up. And when they came to, they realized they were like 400 miles past the airport. Do you remember that?
Yes.
They're kind of like, hey, man, yeah, sorry, we overshot the airport. Like, no one was in any imminent danger, but they had missed their target by about 400 miles because they were both asleep. So, like, we need to circle back around our
on that one. Yeah.
Right.
I think my most embarrassing sleep story, I've told this story before. I had a one-bedroom apartment in Glen Burnie, Maryland. And I was living there with my soon-to-be fiancée and her mother-in-law, her dad's new wife.
Okay.
So her stepmother comes down to visit for the weekend. Now, we had one bedroom, and we were going to give that to Ellen. She could stay there. You know, she didn't sleep in a regular bed because she drove down and everything else from New Jersey. And we slept on the pull-out sofa. Now, believe it or not, we had just bought this couch. It was a wonderful pull-out sofa. It was probably the nicest pull-out sofa that I'd ever slept on. There weren't like metal rods digging into you and all the crap.
You know, you can't get pregnant on a pull-out sofa, Mike. It's all in the name.
Yeah, you can't. But fall asleep in the living room because that's where this thing was.
That's what Vance worked with.
Yeah.
He's just like, hey, we're cool. It's a pull-out.
Now, I get up in the middle of the night. I don't know what time it is. Have to use the bathroom and walk into the bathroom, take a pee, whatever, come back out, do what I normally do, which is walk into my bedroom to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Which is where my mother-in-law is asleep in my bed. Now, there's a couple things you should know about this. Number one, I've always slept naked. Number two, apparently, so does my mother-in-law.
Oh.
So I get I get it. Okay.
Now, is she good looking at least?
I mean,
honestly.
It's Ellen. You know,
I've never met her.
Like
1 to 10 scale.
She had huge boobs. I'll tell you that. All right. And she was a petite woman. So, I mean, what she lacked facial features, she made up.
I mean,
so she's not good looking, but she's a decent
She made
body.
up with her boobs.
All right.
So,
I give your face a 4, but with the boobs, you're up to an 8.
I don't know if you guys do this maneuver or not, but I do it. So when I'm snuggling with someone asleep, I don't know why I do this. If I have my hand or my arm over them, I shoot my forearm between their boobs.
You said you don't know why you do that. Let me explain. Because they have boobs.
Correct. I shoot them on there. Yeah, I'm in between the boobs. Even if it's hot and summery and they're sweating, the whole deal. All right.
But the boobs.
Now I am naked again.
Correct.
Yeah. I shoot them through. I shoot my hand through the boobs. So what do I do when I get to bed? The same thing I do when I get to bed every single time with my soon-to-be wife. I shoot my hand through her boobs. I cuddle up to her. I start falling asleep.
Did the boobs not feel different? Like, was there no?
That is what woke me up.
Really?
Yes.
The feel.
It just snapped me into reality. It wasn't. You know, you're somewhat semi-conscious. Obviously, I got up and walked to the bathroom, used it, went back in. When I laid down, I think I was rolled the other direction. Then when I finally, so I'd been there a little while.
Yeah.
Rolled over, asleep, shot my, did the boob move, shot the hand, and then I'm like, these are big. Like I don't just work in my hand.
It was harder to get your hand through the normal.
You know what I'm saying? Because they were so big and heavy. and And then I was like, oh, God. And when I said, oh, God, I woke Ellen up. And I'm like, I am so sorry. I just went to the bathroom. I'm sorry.
Did you have also I just woke up erection, since they tend to go hand in hand?
Well, when I stood up, I was buck-ass naked.
Right.
And I'm sure you could see something. I mean, it was a dark room, but I'm sure you could. I'm naked, man. Man, the next morning.
For some reason, too, your body seems to know if you've woken up for good, or if you're just doing that pee.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you just do the late night pee and then back in, you're not always
at attention.
Right. Yeah. So now my dilemma when I wake up. Do I tell my girlfriend that this happened, or do I wait and see if it's brought up first from the mother-in-law, so then I have to cop to it? Like, is this just one of those things that we can just keep in the trust
I
tree?
would hop on the sword and get ahead of that one.
That's one. I would definitely get ahead of it. Not that you want to bring it up, but I don't want to risk that stepmom brings it up, and then I have to act like, oh, yeah. Yes. I was going to say something about that.
Right, correct.
I forgot.
Would you choose, Miles?
Well, here's the moment. Does he just come clean, or does he wait for someone else to bring it up?
I think at that point in time, I started drinking coffee. I got up and made coffee. She comes in the kitchen. I'm like, I got to tell you something. So I tell her, and she's like, well, how did you know, what was going on? I was like, because of her boobs. I did the boob thing. Honey, you know me, man. And she's like, you shot your hand up through her boobs. I was like, yes. And she's like, and that's when you knew it wasn't me. And I'm like, yes. And she gave me that look like, do you think she remembers? Because she hadn't gotten up yet. I'm like, how could you not? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's no way about it. But she never brought it up. So then,
did she ever give you like a wink or anything?
No. I mean,
good morning, Miles.
I think it was
anything weird.
In her mind, it was just going to be unspoken.
But now that said, it's one thing to say something
I know, but I didn't need to.
But it's one thing to say something's unspoken. And there's many unspoken moments in life, right? Whatever the situation might be. However, the other party involved in that thing that shall not be brought up, you still do one quick check of the eyes, right? It lasts 1/1000th of 1 second, but you've communicated everything. We've all been there. Like, hey, we're not going to talk about this, but I haven't seen you in a few hours. We know it's on both of our minds. We know we're not going to bring up whatever it might be, but there's always at least one look. Did you even get the look? Just over the coffee mug. Just that one quick glance that says, I remember what happened last night.
No.
Really?
Business as usual.
Okay.
All right. Which to me was the odd part, because I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Now, did you keep giving her weird looks? Like waiting for her to give you the weird
looks. I was just like, all right, when are you going to pull the curtain back on this one?
Right.
Like, when's the show going to start? Because
I was thrilled. I'm shocked she never said anything to
Nothing.
you.
Nothing.
Well,
nothing to me.
I don't think she would say anything to
her.
Miles. I think she would say something to her stepdaughter, right? Like,
you got
if it happened to me, I would not go up and be like, hey, just so you know, I remember you climbing into the bed and grabbing my junk. I might say something to my wife like, look, this happened last night. It happened with your mom. It was a mistake. Well, but you also, I'm a cuddler. So when I'm spooning up against somebody, I've got my junk like in between her cheeks. Yeah, I was going to say,
it's not just the hand that shot up to the boobs. There's more to this. It's just like I am.
You're Tetris.
I'm spooning with her in the area. It's keeping warm. And this is my father-in-law's wife. And he's kind of a drunk.
Do you think she ever told him?
With a temper.
I just know in my family that would never have lasted.
What, the silence?
Just somebody, either the aunt or whoever you did this to, would have just been like, hey, Miles.
But the way your family does it, it would have been like, wait for everyone to sit down and breakfast.
You have to remember, I am
Miles.
Or somebody would have waited, like, to get you alone. Because it happened to me once. Like, I was in my late 20s, blah, 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 stayed at somebody else. But, like, it was like a month later, and her mother looked at me and was like, you can't hear a lot of things upstairs.
Oh.
I knew
what did you do?
We clearly had sex upstairs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And thinking that they had noticed. And the mother didn't bring it up that day.
Sure.
Like, it was like a month or two later, and we was just me and her in her kitchen. And I was like, that's weird. I didn't know you could hear so much. And she just kind of went, you can hear a lot of things up there. And I was like, all right.
Oh, it was just the two of you?
Yeah.
So does that make it better or worse? Would it be better if the girl were there? So kind of like, okay.
Maybe if I was officially invited into the Smiths. At that point in time, I was not married.
Yeah, that's a good point.
To my wife. So maybe I'm just a guy that, you know what I mean, won't be there in the family.
But did you think about it every time you saw her after that?
Absolutely.
Because you can't not. Right?
Absolutely.
Like the day you get married and there's the stepmom and you're like, I have touched those boobs and felt that.
Okay, for an example.
I'm shocked you never told the story.
For like 3 or 4 years ago, her father had passed on. Now, he was no longer with Ellen.
All right.
So, they've been divorced for a few years. But as soon as she said, hey, I got some news for you, just wanted you to know that my dad passed on and all that stuff, the first thing I thought about was sticking my hand. Not about the fact that he died.
Right.
No sorrow. Nothing like, oh, that's a shame. Like, oh, man. That's
big boob down one.
That's a bummer. I was just thinking to myself, I shot my hand through his wife's boobs when I was asleep and have a junk on her butt.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing that came to mind. Like, that was the legacy.
But I think that's the only thing that's ever going to come to mind.
Because it was just like, it was so...
If you saw her now, I guarantee your first thought, even if you're like, oh, I haven't seen it in a while, the thought is, I touched those big flappy boobs.
You're also a lot nicer than I am. I would have made her sleep on the fold-out couch. I would have kept my bedroom.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to sleep on the fold-out couch. But if someone's older than me and they're visiting, like, all right. And keep in mind, I'm dating, well, it's her stepdaughter, but still, like, you have to be a gentleman.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, here she is.
All right, let me see.
She doesn't look bad.
But you can't tell she has big boobs.
No. I wonder if she's still in New Jersey. Maybe I'll call her up.
Hey, it's me,
Camden.
Miles.
Yeah, Rutgers. Yeah, there she is. Yeah, still there. I mean, she's not ugly. She's blonde, big
She's
boobs.
not. She's fine. Yeah.
Just
well, you dated her daughter.
No, I know.
You married her daughter.
Yeah, stepdaughter.
Stepdaughter, yeah. Like,
I don't know about that one.
Do you feel anything on the front side? That's the real question. Like, you can act. Look, put it this way. I've met a lot of women in my life. Maybe they went braless that day, whatever, but they lean over, you see the boobs. You chuckle about that. But I feel like if my hand touched the mossy cottage, my hand touched
I
the
didn't
good
know.
stuff.
I didn't go in the front.
That's a different.
No.
Okay, you're doing it wrong.
No, I'll just.
And you're going for the boobs. Huh?
Why is sleep important to the story? 206-803-ROCK.
To remind you that 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, here's John from Devil Dog Pet Company.
We run our family business from Sterling Heights, Michigan, but we can reach customers all over the country thanks to Amazon. Good boy.
Shop small business on Amazon.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Lowe's sabe que a todos nos gusta ahorrar, especialmente en esta temporada. Por eso escogimos deals buenísimos para Early Black Friday. Obtén gratis una herramienta selecta de Walt, Cobalt o Craftsman al comprar una batería o un kit selecto. También tenemos árboles de Navidad preiluminados selectos desde $59.98, porque nunca es muy pronto para poner el arbolito. Lowe's, nosotros ayudamos, tú ahorras. Hasta agotar existencia, selección varía por lugar.
No matter why you give, your donations can do so much more with a donor-advised fund from DAF Giving 360. You can get a tax deduction upon funding an account, and your assets can potentially grow tax-free as you recommend when and where to give. It's a tax-smart way to maximize your charitable giving from a fund with over 25 years of experience, bringing donors, financial advisors, and charities together. Make a greater impact with DAF Giving 360. Learn more at dafgiving360.org.
Spectrum Business has a new offer that could be a game changer for small and medium-sized businesses. Are you ready for this? You could get free internet for life when you sign up for 4 mobile lines. Spectrum Business keeps businesses of all sizes connected seamlessly with fast, reliable business internet, advanced Wi-Fi, phone, TV, and mobile services. Manage reservations, process orders, entertain customers. Spectrum Business solutions are designed with your business needs in mind. Power all aspects of your business with free internet forever from Spectrum Business. Visit spectrum.com/free for life to learn more. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
To remind you that 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, here's John from Devil Dog Pet Company.
We run our family business from Sterling Heights, Michigan, but we can reach customers all over the country thanks to Amazon. Good boy.
Shop small business on Amazon.
With comprehensive reports on local schools you won't find anywhere else, Homes.com is the only place to find the in-depth info home shoppers want. Very in-depth info. Curious about where a school ranks in the state? Look no further. Percentage of teachers in their first or second year? We've got it. Lowest student-teacher ratio? No problem. The best cafeteria lunch in the district for your 9-year-old food blogger? Would it surprise you if we said yes? Homes.com. We've done your homework.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
me! That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Man was arrested after breaking into a Tulsa home and falling asleep on her couch. Tulsa police responded to a home for a burglary in progress around 11 o'clock at night. A woman called 911 saying there was a man she didn't know sleeping on her couch. So she locked herself and her 3 kids in a bedroom until officers arrived. Police identified the man as Tracy Davis, who was still sleeping when police arrived. Footage shows Davis trying to get in the house through several doors before entering through the back door of the home. Davis told police he wasn't sure how he got into the house, and he didn't know what he was doing there. He was arrested for breaking and entering and possession of drug paraphernalia. Now, one thing I have noticed, most of the time, as far as drinking culture goes, here in the United States, people might get arrested, they might get shot at, they might get tased, and everything else. When these stories happen in Canada, in England, of somebody drunk and staggering home, typically either they end up talking in the morning or
they get fed breakfast. Because typically they're
get on
hammered.
their way. Correct.
Yeah.
And it's a complete misunderstanding, obviously. Nothing has been stolen. Nothing has been disturbed in the home. They just get up and there's some dude passed out on the couch, you know? Our question, why is sleep important to the story? 206-803-ROCK.
I mean, I think it makes a difference, too, if something, like, I don't know. Like, I've had it happen to me in my apartment because they kind of look the same.
All right.
Nobody was asleep, but somebody just clearly was at the wrong door and just walked in.
All right. Okay.
You kind of go, all right. But I think for people that live, even like when you live in single-family homes and there's separation and stuff, I think you're just much more on guard.
That that makes a lot of sense. Like, dude, this is my house. You're right. An apartment, maybe you got the wrong door. The house,
right? Or like even like a row house or a lot of England stuff. Those houses are all stuck together and they're right there. So it's like,
and they do look a lot alike.
It's fathomable how like this dude just did that.
Yeah, but it just seems universal. Like, we made him breakfast, helped him out, called him an Uber, and sent him on his way.
If you're in a trailer park or something, all the homes look the same or something, I could see that happening a lot more. So why is sleep important to the story? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Alana. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bicholas.
Hola.
Okay, so this was in 1996. And we had just moved out here to Black Diamond, so new bedroom. And I was asleep, and I woke up to a sound. And I was like, what's going on? And kind of rolled over, and he wasn't there, meaning my husband. And he was pissing on the corner of the house. He was peeing in our bedroom.
I've been guilty of that.
Yeah, me too.
So the question I want to know is, had you guys been drinking the night? Because the only time I've done that, I went to bed drunk. I've never just done it on a sober sleep.
Well, yeah, that's a positive.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I've
done
done
it
it
on the corner
multiple
of my
times. I peed on a girlfriend I was dating. I had to wake up I kind of snap out. I'm like, what the F are you doing? And I realize what I'm doing in that moment. I'm like, oh, God, man, I am so sorry. And obviously it's an honest mistake. But in that moment, they don't want to hear that. They're very, very unhappy.
No.
I tried to poop in the bedroom chair once when we first moved here. Just hearing my wife in the middle of the night. It's dark in the room. Dad, what are you doing? Like, I'm taking an ass. Why do you care? She's like, you're sitting on the bedroom chair. I'm like, oh, good looking out, babe. My bad. Go ahead into the bathroom.
I told my stepdad one time, I was like, look, man, there's a bird in my room. I said, it flies at night. And he's like, you're crazy. And I'm like, I'm telling you, there's a bird. I'm like, I'm sleeping with the door open tonight.
Yeah.
Because that was my thing. I'm going to sleep with a light on. I'm going to sleep that way. If there's a bird in my room, it'll fly out, into the hallway. So I'm asleep. Next thing I know, I hear like what sounds like a lightsaber duel going on inside my home. There's my stepfather swinging my wiffle ball, my yellow wiffle ball.
Yeah, a little thin ass,
which is maybe 1.5 inches in diameter. It's not very.
It's an official wiffle ball.
It's not the biggest one you've ever seen. He's just.
It keeps missing it, right?
It's a bat.
Yeah,
and it's just flying through there.
That's a bird that flies at night.
It does. And so I was right. There was a bird. There was something flying in my room.
Yeah.
I knew it for a fact. Also, the fact that there was bird poop all over my room.
Guano.
So I knew that there was something in my room because it was on my pillow. It was on my.
What did he think that was? When you say, hey, I'm telling you there's something in my room, and you can point at a pile of ass. Like, do you think I did this? Like,
I'm the same guy then that's hiding my pooped underwear
at the bottom
and picking my nose and wiping it on the wall by my bed. So I think I was trying to.
He just thought it was another,
I'm probably just trying to hide
thing you're
everything
doing.
I can, man. But then he goes and he gets one of his wooden tennis rackets. And for whatever reason, back in the day, I don't know what was up with men, but their tennis racket was kind of like their prized possession. It was almost like on the same scale of their bike.
Same as my dad.
You could not.
But he didn't play tennis.
Well, my dad had Italian racing bikes. He had Bob Jackson's.
Yeah, but the tennis racket.
The tennis racket was like.
But he didn't play tennis.
But they were wooden, and I don't know if they were expensive. But it was a giant thing in my house too. But like,
did they play tennis?
Never.
That's what I'm saying.
But they were wooden.
Right. You couldn't touch my dad's.
No, do not touch the.
Yeah, it was a Wilson or a Spalding.
You don't play tennis. I am actually asking if I can use this because I'm like, I'm going to go play tennis.
Well, the difference was, in all fairness, on a wooden some people taped the tops of it. Most people did not.
Yeah.
If you gave your kid a wooden tennis racket, as many times as you scrape that racket,
you're going to break it. Sure.
You're inevitably going to break it.
But again, if I break your tennis racket, what did I prevent you from doing? Because you don't play tennis.
But he's got this tennis racket. He goes and grabs his, and that's when he just absolutely smacked the life out of that bat.
Yeah.
And when you looked, the tennis racket used to have this within the webbing of the tennis racket. The Wilson ones had a W in it, and the W was red. And now the middle of that tennis racket was all red because when he hit that thing, he exploded the bat.
Yeah.
And the bat hit the wall. So there's a blood stain on the wall. There's a blood stain on the tennis racket. And he took the dead bat and threw it out the window, whatever the deal was. I remember most of this, but the next morning, he'd get up earlier before I went to school. But later on that evening, he's like, "You're right, man." I was like, "How did you know?" And he's like, "Because it flew into their room."
Aha. Okay.
And when he got up, it flew back into my room. So he'd been dueling with this thing for a couple different bedrooms. But
I remember when we lived out in the woods. My brother, whatever reason, he's the nicest guy. So karma just decided it's going to treat him like ass early in his life, and then the rest of his life will be fine. But live out in the woods, everyone lives in the exact same home. We have the exact same problems, except him. For whatever reason, once a year, a single cricket would find its way into his room. We think it was in the closet. We never found it. But they're so loud when they're indoors, all right? And it's just one. And we'd go to bed, and I could kind of hear it in my room through the wall. But, I mean, it's in his room. And I don't know how many decibels those things are, but it's so much louder than you think they should be. My brother's not someone who really gives over to anger much. Disgust, maybe, not so much anger. And this cricket, we think it's in his closet. But like anything, and I love this about crickets, as soon as you turn on the light, they stop.
They stop.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're not going to move, so they just stay camoed wherever it is they are. So it was 3 nights in a row during the summer. And I remember he knocks on my door one night, wakes me up. I'm like, what? And he's like, man, help me find this cricket. I'm like, what are you talking about? And we walk in his room, and like, you hear this thing. Right? So I'm like, all right, man. We turn on the light, stops dead. Turn the light off, fires back up again. Turn the light back on. We're digging through his closet. We're looking under his bed. I don't know where this cricket was. We can't find it. I'm like, look, I need to go back to bed. I don't know what to do to help you. He turns off his light. This thing fires up again. About 10 minutes later, and it won't stop. All right, there's no break in this thing. It says over and over. Can I sleep in your room? All right, I got bunk beds. He don't want to be in there. I don't want him in there, but I get the situation. Tells my father the next morning, like, hey, Dad, there's a cricket in my bedroom. He's like, well, just kill the goddamn thing. He's like, we can't find it. My brother goes to bed. Obviously, our bedtime's earlier than our parents. We go to bed. I can tell when he's turned off his light because he's up maybe 10 minutes longer than me, but I knew the moment he turned off his light, this cricket fires back up, right? And keep in mind, it doesn't make any sound during the day when there's daylight, nothing. So this cricket goes off again. So we go upstairs and get my father. Father comes down, same, it's the whole process again. Turns on the light, cricket's quiet. Turns off the light, cricket fires back up. Turn on the light, we dig through his bedroom again. We cannot find this cricket. My father's like, certainly, as much noise as we've made and as much stuff as we moved around, this cricket has probably hopped out of your room. All right. Turn off the light. Boom. This thing is right back on. And we're like, Jesus Christ. So now my father's getting frustrated. It's probably 20 minutes of us digging through his room, all this crap. Found his porn magazines, which was a nice side thing.
Bonus.
Well, my father found them so that you just get a look, but nothing is said, and you don't have to throw them out. The time my mom found them, they're all gone. Anyway, turns off the light again. He's like, look, I don't know what to tell you. Just sleep out in the living room. So brother sleeps out in the living room. Night 3. We go out there. He turns off his light. He's like, Jesus Christ. And he started to lose his S. To me, it's kind of funny because I'm like, this cricket like has it in for you, man. Like, it will not make a sound if the lights are on. And it does not make a sound if you're not in the room. So you can turn off his lights, leave the room. There's no sound from this cricket. I swear to God, as soon as he crossed the threshold of the door, cricket fires back up. Like, you are not sleeping tonight, homie. It's just not going to happen. The 4th day, we finally found the cricket, and we only found it because it died of its own accord.
Yeah.
And it's like in the middle of his floor. This cricket was nowhere to be found, but when it dies, it's just like dead in the middle of the floor. He had never been so happy. Whatever.
Probably starved to death.
A year goes by. No one's giving it a thought. I swear to God, that next summer, light goes off. There's another cricket. I'm like, this is unbelievable. My father's like, either deal with it or sleep somewhere else. I'm not trying to do this.
Or we can release a snake into your room.
Yes, or release a snake, yes.
Why is sleep important to the story? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Luke. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
In communities across the country, hourly Amazon employees earn an average of over $23 an hour, with opportunities to grow their career and their paycheck. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
Homes.com is the only place where you can find specialized neighborhood guides with the in-depth insider info home shoppers want. Very in-depth info. Want to know if there's homes for sale in the area? We've got it. How long has a home been on the market? We'll know it. Average lot size? Uh-huh. Proximity to local parks? Of course. Insight into your neighbor's divorce? We're working on it. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
This episode is brought to you by PBS, home of Ken Burns. Ken Burns films aren't just documentaries, they're national events. And his latest, The American Revolution, is the one you've been waiting for. When you think American Revolution, you probably picture tea crates in Boston Harbor, founders signing documents in Philadelphia, redcoats marching into battle. But Ken Burns, along with Sarah Botstein and David Schmidt, takes us so much deeper. This was a revolution that was bloody, complicated, and unbelievably consequential. It's a story of people, some you know and many you don't, who risked everything to change the course of history. Their fight for independence lit a spark for freedom that still burns today. George Washington called it the cause of mankind. And John Adams wrote to his wife Abigail, "Posterity, you will never know what it cost us to preserve your freedom." With the American Revolution, Ken Burns and his team bring us a story that's vast, human, and deeply relevant. A story that belongs to all of us. Check out The American Revolution. Premieres Sunday, November 16th at 8, 7 Central on PBS and the PBS app. I can't wait to watch.
Why do I shop at Bob's Discount Furniture? I love saving money. Seriously, Bob's has top quality pieces like beautiful leather sofas and real marble dining sets for a fraction of what you pay at the other stores. Oh, and the best part, you can bundle a sofa and love seat or a 4-piece bedroom set or a mattress and power base and save even more money. If you want to love your home, love your furniture, and save major money, shop at Bob's.
Okay, so here's what happened. This was back in elementary school. I had trouble sleeping for about a week, and So flash forward, recess on the playground. I go under one of the covered areas and try to take a nap. And fortunately, I was successful. Now, this is the part that nobody seems to believe, but I woke up and there was a girl sitting right next to me, and I wasn't sure for how long, but as you can imagine, I was pretty surprised. We ended up just making some conversation, but unfortunately, I couldn't remember what the conversation was, and I don't remember her name, and I haven't seen her in years.
This is from elementary school.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think she's your long-lost love from elementary school? Do you think she'd even remember? Say you found her ass on Facebook.
Did you go to school with her? Was she a classmate, a neighbor, what?
I want to say she was a classmate, but it was so long ago, I don't even remember what she looks like anymore.
Who else would be next to you at recess besides a classmate in elementary school? I mean, do you think she's just some random girl that wandered over from another school and sat next to you?
No, probably not.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's
look. I woke up in the middle of the night one night. My buddy Zach. I was in second grade, third grade. So I had never had a Twinkie before. All right. Now this sounds ridiculous.
This setup, I was like, where is this going to go?
Yeah. All right. I never had a Twinkie. I never had a Twinkie. And one day after school, his mom brought some Twinkies home, and I had a Twinkie for the first time. Now,
what'd you think?
I thought it was the greatest thing
It blows your mind.
Ever eaten in my life. And I think Twinkies were probably a little bit better then.
I don't
Maybe
know.
they weren't. I don't know. Anyway, so I couldn't get to sleep.
Well, second graders also don't have a great palate.
They don't. But Twinkies at that age are like that. That's the caviar of the child.
Right. Now, they had a side door that went into their kitchen. The kitchen came down off like a little stoop on the side of the house. It was not the main entrance. That door's open all the time.
Yeah.
So it was like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I still had my pajamas on. I put my shoes on. I'm like, I'm going to go down to Zach's house. I'm going to grab another Twinkie.
Oh, you're not spending the night?
No. No.
Oh, Jesus.
No.
I'm with Thrill.
No.
I just assumed you were there.
No.
Yeah.
No. I got up and determined, like, they won't care because you had a box of them.
Yeah.
I'll go get another Twinkie. So I got up. It was probably
part of you had to know you were stealing it.
A quarter-mile walk.
He takes grapes now. I don't think he cares.
Because his house was halfway.
A quarter mile?
Because it was a half-mile walk to the school. We did it every day.
Right.
First, second through fourth grade. But it was halfway to the school. I walked all the way to his house. I opened the screen door. I went into the kitchen, and I grabbed a Twinkie, and I started eating it in the kitchen. Just like, no big deal. I'm going to just eat this.
Sure.
Zach's parents' house. Light flips on. Zach's dad, he was a doctor. Big dude. I'm a little kid, but he was still like 6'3", 6'4", German dude. And he's like,
"What are you doing with Twinkie?"
Correct.
Oh, he actually had the accent.
What are you doing in here?
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm eating a Twinkie, Mr. Morris, or Dr. Morris. And he's like, son, it's 1:30 in the morning. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, okay, well, can I finish my Twinkie? He's like, how did you get here? And I'm like, I walked down to get a Twinkie. He's like, all right. So he got in the car and drove my ass home.
Oh, yeah.
Knocked on the door, woke my parents up, even though the door was wide open. Said, Miles is in the kitchen. Just want you to know he's safe.
They're probably like, whose kitchen?
Our kitchen. I was like,
Twinkies.
I had to get a Twinkie. I was like, because he has a box of Twinkies. There's like 6 or 12 in there. I'm like, they won't know. I don't care. Just in the mood for a Twinkie.
That is the problem with little kids. So
it was completely logical in my mind.
No. Your kids' logic, it makes sense.
The door's always open. I never knocked on their door. I just walked in the kitchen, like in the daytime. The doors were always open. So if the caller said somebody was on his bed, like that was not uncommon. We didn't lock our doors.
Now, back in the day, rarely did anyone, especially, and you're right, as a kid, if you were just going over to see your buddy.
He was my best friend. So, like,
you just opened the door and walked in, and maybe they're eating breakfast or something, and the parents didn't look delighted, but they didn't, granted, it was not 1:30 in the morning, but they kind of understood. When my kids were younger, and they want to do their sleepovers, and the younger they are, just the more attentive you have to be. So, like now, if my son says, hey, man, so-and-so spend the night, I go, sure. But here's the deal. Do not remind me that you're in the house. And they don't. They want no part of me. I want no part of them. Perfect. When they're little, it's never like one kid. It's always like 6, right? And inevitably, out of those 6, 2 of them are not comfortable not being at home.
Yeah.
One of them is going to pee on something that you own. It's just But you can't get
or throw up.
So you will get them to sleep, and they're little kids, so they're staying up quote unquote late. So maybe it's 11 o'clock. They fall asleep. Cool. You check on them. You go to bed at maybe 1 in the morning, about 2 o'clock in the morning. Someone's tugging your arm. Well, it is not your kid. It is someone else's kid who has one of two things to tell you. Either, so if the first one is, I want to go home. I had no problem. Nope. Said, man, it is too late. I'm not calling your parents. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. You can climb in my bed to me and my freaking wife, which is the last place I want you. But if that's going to calm your ass down to climb in bed. 2 times they took me up on the offer, and it just sucks, man, because I'm laying in bed with someone like, God, or you get the, Mr. Steve, hey, what's up, man? And first thing you do is always look at the clock, right? Like, it's 3:45. All right, what's up? I peed on your sofa. I'm like, now I have to get up, right? This is not, did you bring a change of clothes? I don't have a change of clothes. All right. Okay, man. Now the lights are on. Now I'm digging through my kid's room to find, like, underwear and a new pair of pants for this kid, and then I throw their crap in my washer. And by the time you're done with this, kid's dead asleep again.
You're wide awake.
I am wide awake, and I'm like, I'm just up for the day. So I hated doing the spend the night when they were little. Now, brilliant. I don't have to do anything.
Well, you're about to get into the age of, you got to check the bags.
What do you mean?
Like, I had a buddy, we could always go to his parents' basement and hang out. But if you walked in and those book bags looked too heavy, he'd be like, let me see it. What do you got in there?
Yeah, I'll be dead on. I don't care what you brought in your bag. If you touch my stuff, we got an issue, right? Just don't touch my stuff.
Why is sleep important to the story? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Con. Welcome to the men's room. Hello, Con.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, we're talking to you.
Who's this?
Oh, it's John.
John. Con.
No, just so you know, Mike put K.
I like that, though.
Well, Mike put up KOHN, all right. And then in parentheses, he spelled the word con so that I knew how to pronounce
like
it.
Ricardo Montalban.
Right.
Sorry, my phone over there was breaking up like crazy. I
John.
couldn't get his name right. Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I had to pull over and park.
That's fair, Mike. It's unlikely his name would be John. It's much more likely Con.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah. All right. Well, so I used to live in Texas about 15 or so years ago, and I got pulled over. I fell asleep at the wheel, but I wasn't even on the road yet, basically, and I was just idle, and I kind of went off the road, and I nudged the fence. I stopped. A cop saw it and just pulls up right behind me, and gives me a ticket, and so I go to court, and the judge charges me with speeding. So I was like...
With speeding?
For speeding, yeah. So I was like, Your Honor, I was not speeding. I was asleep.
Not to split hairs, man, but, you know.
Well, do you remember, did they give you like a breathalyzer or anything like that?
Oh, well, yeah, I got, but I wasn't drinking or anything.
Right.
You
fell asleep.
I just fell asleep. And so I told him I was sleeping, and that's when he just kind of very sternly kind of almost yelled at me. He said, any speed while sleeping is speeding.
That's fair.
All right. Yeah, I mean, he's right.
Was he just saying that because he was pissed, or is that actually the law in Texas? Like, you're just behind the wheel at all, you're asleep, you're speeding.
You know, that's the only time I got pulled over or got into any kind of trouble in Texas, so I don't know really the laws, but the guy, it was like a small town. It was actually Falcon, Texas.
So how does that work as far as you getting a fine, right? So typically if you're speeding, depending how many miles an hour over the speed limit,
right.
you get that many, that's how much it's going to cost you. And I do agree, if you're moving at all and you're asleep, yeah, you're speeding. But, I mean, how do you write a ticket like you were going 3 miles an hour? Why wouldn't it just be sleeping at the wheel?
Well, he basically just made me pay the fence. I kind of broke a pole on he just made me kind of paid for that, and that was basically it. But it wasn't really much of a ticket. It was just like, wake your ass up or something. I don't
know. Wake your ass up.
Did he try to just say follow me home or anything?
Well, no. He did wake me up. I mean, I woke up. He let me drive home, but I did get the ticket. I had to present myself in court, and it's a small town thing. I mean, the courthouse was basically just another house in town.
Okay.
So. And, so the judge, the guy was just, I thought it was fair at the end. I was like, you know what? He could have charged me with reckless driving.
Sure. Or something, yeah. Well, at least he was decent. You know what? Because you did not have anything in your system, man. I think that's the entire difference. Yeah. You were literally just tired.
Why is sleep important to the story? 206-803-ROCK.
In communities across the country, hourly Amazon employees earn an average of over $23 an hour, with opportunities to grow their career and their paycheck. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
Homes.com has collaboration tools to help home shoppers search, share, and discuss home shopping with family, friends, and their agent directly through the site. Though it was fun to get that email from your husband about that 3-bedroom in the hills, to which you replied via text that you would never live in the hills and you'd like to find a 3-bedroom closer to the beach. To which he replied, "Why are you so uncompromising?" A fun way to spend an afternoon, but we think it's just a tad bit easier our way. Homes.com. Ding dong. We've done your homework.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
me!
That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
This episode is brought to you by PBS, home of Ken Burns. Ken Burns films aren't just documentaries, they're national events. And his latest, The American Revolution, is the one you've been waiting for. When you think American Revolution, you probably picture tea crates in Boston Harbor, founders signing documents in Philadelphia, redcoats marching into battle. But Ken Burns, along with Sarah Botstein and David Schmidt, takes us so much deeper. This was a revolution that was bloody, complicated, and unbelievably consequential. It's a story of people, some you know and many you don't, who risked everything to change the course of history. Their fight for independence lit a spark for freedom that still burns today. George Washington called it the cause of mankind. And John Adams wrote to his wife Abigail, "Posterity, you will never know what it cost us to preserve your freedom." With the American Revolution, Ken Burns and his team bring us a story that's vast, human, and deeply relevant. A story that belongs to all of us. Check out The American Revolution. Premieres Sunday, November 16th at 8, 7 Central on PBS and the PBS app. I can't wait to watch.
Why do I shop at Bob's Discount Furniture? I love saving money. Seriously, Bob's has top quality pieces like beautiful leather sofas and real marble dining sets for a fraction of what you pay at the other stores. Oh, and the best part? You can bundle a sofa and love seat or a 4-piece bedroom set or a mattress and power base and save even more money. If you want to love your home, love your furniture, and save major money, shop at Bob's.
From the Pinky's Plumbing Studio, you're in the men's room. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK.
Hey, do some good and give some help to the Washington Food Coalition.
Yeah, man.
Food insecurity is it's a problem, and going into the holidays, it's even more of a bigger problem. So the money will help your neighbors in need stay here locally in the community.
Right.
So, for an example, as they say, $20 will provide 12 breakfast burritos at a local meal program. $50 will buy 16 dozen eggs for people in need. All right. Give what you can. $100, 22 pounds of ground beef.
Just a quick side note. We were at Target yesterday to buy all the crap you don't want to buy, like Q-tips, soap, that kind of thing. My daughter's with us, and they're doing a food drive at her high school, which is very cool. And I am unaware of anything, but my wife is aware that they're doing a food drive at the high school. So we get to part of the food section of Target. Says to my daughter, "Hey, you're doing a food drive. What do you want to buy?" My daughter says, "Oh, I already donated money." We're like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, I donated my own money," which, side note, bless her heart. And I'm like, no. I'm like, look, if you're going to donate money, you come to us as your parents. We take care of that stuff on your behalf.
So hopefully she upped what she said she gave so that you would replace them.
I just thought that
I gave him $100, Dad.
But she's the kindest. Oh, I did not reimburse her for what she did. I just said, in the future, man. But I love that about her. Like I said, her heart is always in the right place. I'm like, no. Just let us know. We'll take care of it. She took care of it.
Well, the Washington Food Coalition does great things in the community. So if you have a couple bucks, KISW.com has got a donation page on that. All right, a question. Why is sleep important to the story? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Brock. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
All right, so this story goes back a little bit. My son is 14 or 15 at this age. He's 21 now. But he got caught sneaking out of the house one night. And so I put an alarm system on all the windows and the doors and whatnot so that wouldn't happen again.
All right.
And so it's like 3:30 in the morning, and my phone rings, and it's him. And it's like, oh, my God, why are you calling me from your bedroom, which is just down the hall? You know, what the heck? And so I answer the phone, and it's, hello, Mr. Mason? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, hi, we have your son with us. He's not in trouble, but he's down here at the school, and we'd like you to come and pick him up. And I'm like, oh, my God. They didn't tell me what he did or what was going on, but I'm like, you know, getting out of bed, just half asleep, throw on my UPS outfit because I was going to be going to work in a couple hours and drive up to the school. And then they didn't tell me where the school he was, so I, like, drive around. I couldn't find him. And then so I drive to another school thinking maybe they told me the wrong school. Then they finally call me back again and say, oh, no, we're at the back of the school. And so I end up getting there, and I come walking up, and the police officer's like, oh, are you coming from work? And I'm like, no, I don't even know why I'm here. What is going on? And, you know, they're just trying to be fun or whatever. But I was like, I just still had no idea. And he's like, oh, well, one of his friends overdosed on, what's the one terrible drug now?
Fentanyl?
Yep.
Okay.
He overdosed on fentanyl. He's okay. We gave him one of the OP pen or whatever.
Narcan.
Yeah, Narcan, yeah. And so everything's fine. He's not in trouble. You can take him home. And I'm just like, oh, my God. Okay, this is great. And then so I get him in the car, and I'm like starting to yell at him and like, what the F are you doing, Elliot? Why did you leave? He goes, Dad, I stuck out. I was just smoking weed. And he was doing that, and all of a sudden I looked over, and he, like, rolled his eyes over and started to, overdose. And I had to give him, like, CPR and call 911. And so then it went from, like, oh, my God, you helped save your friend's life. I was pissed at him, but then it was like, okay.
But what's the angle? Because he still snuck out of the house.
He didn't do fentanyl. Right, that's another
positive.
positive.
Funny, too, though. He snuck out of the house, like, crawling out the dog door. He went out.
I was going to say, how to get out. All right, he snuck out the dog door.
Yeah, he snuck out the dog door. I didn't put an alarm on the dog door. Didn't think about that, and he crawled out the dog door.
I'm never doing a dog door.
No.
Something's going to come in. A raccoon. Something.
That's my issue is with the dog door. Because my friends have a dog door.
Your cat will end up being an indoor-outdoor cat, start dragging in birds.
Well, they have a big-ass dog. So the thing is, their dog door is a little bigger than most. Because their dog is the sweetest dog you'll ever see. You would not know that until you meet her. But seeing her, fierce-looking dog, right? And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I made that comment, and the guy that lives at the house, the homeowner, just looks at me and kind of rolls his eyes. I'm like, what? He's like, brother, everything that lives in my backyard, all right? And he's like, I did not know what we had in our backyard, but I discovered it pretty much every morning because they would go to the dog bowl. So we'll move the dog bowl. He's like, I did, but they can still smell where it was. So they would go to where the dog bowl had used to be, and then when they can't find the food, they have to jump on the counter. I'm assuming it's raccoons. But they leave their droppings where the food bowl was. Almost like an F.U. for not having the delicious food that we've been smelling. Yeah. I'm like,
is there not a slide to close it off?
I don't know.
I don't know. His dog constantly bangs in and out of that thing. So like in the wintertime, when the door's closed, we're playing cards, whatever. The dog's going in and out. And as long as the lights are on and humans are present, nothing's going to come
I would have
inside.
no problem with that if the dog would go outside, use the bathroom, out just sniffing around, whatever they're doing. But if a dog wants to let itself out to go to the bathroom, I'm happy my dog isn't smart. I'm just worried about what would come in.
That was his issue. He's like, look, man, the dog is fine. The dog uses the dog door for the reason I wanted to use the dog door. He's like, everything else that lives on my property uses it because they smell. And the thing is, his wife cooks all the time, too. Like she cooks. What you don't think about it. You go to bed, but the smell is still in the air. So, she'll spend 3 hours cooking or whatever. And he's like, hey, man, the local wildlife, they're in your kitchen waiting for you.
One of the texters says, guys, any of you ever experienced sleepwalking? Would love to hear that. I used to be more of a sleepwalker than I am now.
Sure.
There's been a couple times, I fell down the steps once. And it took about 3 days for me to remember exactly what happened. Because I think I came in one day and I'm like, man, I feel like I've been hit by a truck.
Yeah, you were telling me. It feels like somebody put soap in a sock and beat me.
I am sore all over. I don't remember it. And then it was almost like, it was like 3 days later. I walked in. I was like, I just remember, dude, I fell down the steps. I was sleepwalking and I fell down the steps. Head over, shoulder over, the whole deal. But I do remember this. When I got to the bottom of the steps, my feet perfectly planted like a gymnast.
All right.
And I popped right back up. Like the way that I rolled, it was like a perfect 10.
Yeah.
How many tumbles I did? Like when I got to the bottom, my feet landed on the floor and I popped right up. And then I must have walked into the kitchen or done what I did, whatever I did.
Ate some peanut butter.
But that's a problem. So back to
I've never tumbled forward. I have definitely slipped on the heel and slid all the way down
like dum, 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 dum,
on
dum,
like your butt.
Yeah.
You
can't stop yourself.
Socks and carpet.
Socks or wet day. I did it at the remember that stairwell at the old Hard Rock?
Yeah. Did you do it there?
Yep.
That's an unforgiving stairwell.
Right.
It's a long stairwell.
Heels went out all the way down. I stand up. The bouncer's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I am. I am embarrassed. I'm going to leave." And he's like, "Oh, okay.
Don't leave.
I'm embarrassed. I'm going to leave.
Yeah, there's like people looking at me. I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm just embarrassed."
But I would wake up in the morning and I would realize that I could see what I made. It's on the counter. I didn't really necessarily put everything away. One night, I made a box of macaroni and cheese.
Damn.
It takes a while to boil water, to cook the noodles, to strain it, to do all the things. I got a pot with a half box of macaroni and cheese in it, all dried up. So that's why I don't keep peanut butter in the house, because I'm afraid I'm going to choke and die. Because for me, it's just like I don't even use utensils. I just stick like 2 fingers down in there and stick it in my mouth. In the morning, I'm like, what is all over my pillowcase?
I had a big sleep walker. I've definitely talked.
Oh yeah,
right. And only because I remember breaking up with a girl, and she was like, "Yeah, you said this," and I go, "When did I say that?" She goes, "Well, you were asleep," and I go, "Well, that doesn't count." She goes, "Well, you farted on me too." I was like, "When?" She was like, "When you were asleep." Like, don't come at me like I'm doing this stuff on purpose.
Yeah,
you should have just started faking like you were asleep and just farted on her.
Well, yeah, that was kind of the end of it, too.
Ah, damn.
When you get to that petty point of like, hey, you talk in your sleep. Like, all right. Well, there's serious issues in the relationship. It's not the talking.
But the weirdest one, I just moved into a new house, and I kind of knew the lay of the land, but not really. And that's very important in sleepwalking. You kind of need to know where you are and what you're doing. And I don't really think I had that consciousness about me at that point. But I wake up, and it's raining, and I'm just like, why am I being rained? Why am I getting rained on? I'm sitting in the middle of my yard, legs crossed, hands in my face with my elbows on my knees.
Very zen.
And I walked, and I realized I'm in the middle of the front yard. And the only thing that woke me up was it started raining. And it wasn't like a Seattle rain. It was a rain.
Like a downpour.
It was a heavy rain, like big ass drops. We've had a couple of those storms this year, but it was one of those types of rains. And I woke up and I'm like, I didn't want to tell anybody. Like, I didn't want to tell my wife.
Because it's weird.
I have 2 kids in the house.
Right. Oh,
the front door is wide open. My front door is wide open. I didn't even close the door when I walked outside.
No one's breaking into your house if you're like, dude, the door's open. There's also a guy in his underwear zenning in the front yard. Yeah. I'm not touching that.
Yeah, I don't have a shirt on. Yeah. It's a fall. It's not warm.
Yeah.
I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, what is the deal? Like, what is my... I don't understand it, but...
I've never sleptwalked. My uncle, we did not know he used to sleepwalk until he was a guest in our home. Same house with the cricket. And my brother's bedroom was given up to my uncle for him to stay in. And my brother and I, once again, were in the bunk beds in my bedroom. And we just wake up, I mean, like stuff shattering and breaking and all this. We realized it's coming from my brother's room. By the time we opened my door, my father's already down the stairs, man of the house kind of thing. And we opened it up, and there's my uncle in his tighty whities. And he's kind of looking at us weird. Like, he clearly had kind of just come to. But my brother had this full, like, wall stereo system. It's not mounted to the wall. The shelf is just against the wall. Anyway, crap. Almost spilled it, but I didn't.
All right, I was like...
But his stereo, all of his vinyl, and anything else that was on the shelves is now broken on the floor. And we're looking at my uncle like... Again, it's just weird, because he's like 6'3". When you're a kid, he's just the biggest guy you've ever seen. And his tighty white is kind of blinking at us all weird. My brother was like, what the F, man? So according to my uncle, he was a sleepwalker. That is when he informed us of this, which if you're going to be a house guest and it's that prevalent, you should almost maybe tell him, right?
Give him a heads up.
Maybe we put you in a different room. There's nothing in my room to break. You'd have been better off in there. Anyway.
Well, you don't necessarily know somebody's going to break stuff either. Like, I never broke anything. I just, ate food and cooked food and walked around.
But if you're a sleepwalker... Let someone know. So
and you're sleepwalking in somebody else's house.
Because according to him, he had a dream that someone was attacking a member of the family. I don't remember which one of us it was, but he sprang into action in his dream, and he grabbed whoever the assailant was by the neck and was pulling them to the floor. Well, the neck turned out to be one of the support bars for my brother's stereo, and I guess he got the better of the guy because the shelves are broken. My brother's stereo was broken. And in the 1970s, your stereo was your baby. It's the equivalent of a man with his car, right? So stereo's broken, turntables all messed up. One of the speakers went down. A couple of vinyl records broke. My brother, again, like I said, he's a nice guy, but karma just beat his ass early in life for no reason at all. And he's devastated, man. So then my father moves my uncle into my room. So I moved a few things out of there I didn't want him to touch, just in case. And then my father charged me and my brother with cleaning up the mess that my uncle had made.
Yeah.
It was like 4 a.m. We're like, what? And he's like, look, man, it's not going to clean itself.
It's like a weird semi-conscious thing. At one point in time, we must have been talking about maybe this weekend we'll go and either get a tree or set up our artificial tree.
All right.
That was a conversation I just remember. Okay, yeah, whatever, we'll do that crap. It's a pain in the ass, But you do it. Well, I determined in the middle of the night that it must have been, the conversation was, we need to do this right now. And that tree was on top of a shelf in the garage. I'd already taken it down.
All right.
I'd already taken all the stuff out of the box. The stand apparently was in the box, and when I dumped the box out, I went ding, 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 ding. Woke my wife up. She walks in the garage. It's like, what in the F are you doing? And I'm like, setting up the tree like you said.
Yeah.
She's like, it's the middle of the night. And I'm like, but you said we got to get the tree up, kind of thing. And she tells me all this conversation I'm having, and I'm like, she's like, so I picked up your arms. We'll do it tomorrow. It's still the middle of the night. I'm like, well, I can do it. I got it down. I'm ready to rock. It was an artificial tree. I was like, I was sorting out the branches, looking at stuff. I was completely out of it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't drunk. I was just sleepwalking. So
that's such a weird thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
Like those just random dumb.
Because generally,
crap.
like for me, if I have a dream that's that realistic,
yeah,
it'll take me a second as I'll wake up in my bed and be like, holy yes. Then it's like, it's all right. It was just a dream. We weren't really having that conversation. That person's not here.
Nor did I physically do it. Is weird when someone, if you get them at the wrong time and they start talking in their sleep. Checked on my son, it's probably 2 months ago. Just cracked his door open, checked on him, and he rolls over. Now his lights out, so I think he's awake. So I had to ask him what, because he's like, yeah, but is everybody okay? I said, dude, what are you talking about? And he was like insistent. He goes, is everybody okay? And then I realized he's dead asleep. So I'm like, man, I got everyone taken care of, just like you said. I don't know. I said, but everybody's perfectly fine, and they say thank you. And he's like, okay. And rolls over and goes to
back
sleep.
to bed.
I'm like, all right then.
Well, okay, one of the YouTube comments from David. Miles, crunchy peanut butter is less of a choking hazard than creamy. The bits of peanuts help it go down better. Listen, man. David.
You're asleep.
I only buy extra chunky peanut butter. I have almost died with my fingers in a handful of peanut butter in the middle of the night multiple times.
Wait till he finds out it's not peanut butter in his
Look,
fingers.
I love peanut butter. I make a conscious decision. I can't keep my hands out of it to not buy it. Yeah. It's like kryptonite for me.
Yeah.
I cannot have it in my house.
For fear of
it will
choking.
kill me. I mean, they'll say, like, how did he go? And they'll, Jif or Skippy or
Does
something.
he have a peanut allergy? No, he ate it in his sleep.
Was it Adams, the thick stuff? No, it's regular old plain peanut butter.
You ever buy those little single servings of guacamole?
No, but I do buy the single servings of Jif over here at the store because I know.
Those single servings of guacamoles. I'm not sleepwalking, but just you open the fridge, it's like, I got string cheese. Good reason to have a single serving.
Not a bad call.
It's the same thing. I don't buy them because they're expensive, and they only last a few days.
Why is sleep important to the story? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Michelle. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Well, I was about 8 years old, and my parents were separated at the time, and we were staying at a coworker of hers that lived across the street from the hospital that they worked at. We also lived on the main street in town, a very busy street. I was sleeping on their couch, and sometime in the middle of the night, I grabbed my kitten. I was sound asleep, grabbed my kitten, wrapped myself with my blanket, and I walked across that busy street to the hospital. And apparently, I guess I walked into the hospital, and I sat down in the lobby until a nurse came in there and found me. And I don't remember any of it. My parents came and got me. I slept through the whole thing.
So I'm assuming the hospital at first probably thought you needed help, right? So I'm assuming that's how that went down?
Well, but they recognized me because my mother worked there.
Ah, okay. And how old were you when this happened?
I was 8 years old.
8. Jesus, man. I like that you grabbed the kitten as well. The cat's probably like, yo, leave me at the house.
Well, speaking of cats, I told my buddy this the other day. I was like, man, there's two things in this world that can wake me up. anytime my kid would roll over or breathe or do anything for some reason, I mean, I was wide awake and I could hear it like it was right beside me, even though she was in another room sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
The other was a cat throwing up in the middle of the night.
Oh God! Yeah.
If you wanted an alarm, if I could set my phone to a setting where I guarantee no matter what, even if I had a flight at 5 o'clock in the morning, I had to get up at 3 o'clock. If I set that thing to the sound of a cat regurgitating a big giant hairball, I would wake up instantly. Absolutely. Even if I don't have a cat.
But it takes them 20 minutes to just do it. They never just bleh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're like, you've got to be. Then the worst part is trying to find where your cat is.
Right.
You just hear heaving, and that you tend to find it with your bare foot. Like, there it is.
No, here's the deal. I could have hardwood and tile in the entire home.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a carpet that was 6 by 6 inches, just a small little square of carpet, that cat would throw up on that square 100% of the time.
That's where cats puke. That's where dogs poop.
Like the welcome mat on the inside of the house. Whatever.
That's really going to do it.
Yeah, it's always.
And I think I get it on some level.
That makes sense because it's by the door.
They're doing you a favor.
Correct.
I don't want to put it on your. But I'm like, bro, I wish you could translate. Listen, the harder the surface, the happier I will be. Do not do it on anything that has fibers, because now I have to get rid of it.
We have a mutual friend that has a small dog, and that dog has about a 7 or 8 hour limit, right?
Before it has to go out.
Right. So sometimes he'll be sitting there and he'll be like, damn it, I think it's been too long. We'll get back, and his dog will have pooped in the house, but would have gone into the hardwood floor in the bathroom, not on the carpet. It will just leave it there.
The bathroom. So just use the bathroom.
So I'm always like,
all right.
I get it. Like, the dog just has a natural limit. Like, you don't want her pooping inside, but also it's kind of nice that she just uses the bathroom because she sees you.
She doesn't use the toilet, but she uses the bathroom.
Correct.
Why is sleep important to the story? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Stefan. Welcome to the men's room.
Man, I wanted to say that for like 10 years now.
We didn't hear it. Hola.
Say it again. Get it one more.
Hola, gentlemen.
There you go.
There we go, man. Put some gusto into it. Yeah. All right. So, man, this starts off probably about 20 years ago now. I was going camping, man. My uncle was getting married, so we're all headed out there. We end up at the camp area. Everybody's going to sleep. Good time. Nothing's happening. Everything's normal. Don't think anything of it. Wake up the next morning, and, man, my hand is just killing me. Could not figure out what was going on. We break down the tents in the morning, and we end up finding a bunch of holes in the ground in the tent. Move the tent out of the way. There's a bunch of holes in the dirt itself. There's a mud wasp nest underneath there.
Oh.
Not a good time. Not a good time. Fast forward about a week, my hand had swollen up, man. I had Goofy's glove for a left hand. Absolutely ridiculous. Refused to go into the hospital, though, because I was 17 and I knew everything, and I would heal and bounce back, and nothing would be a problem.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now, so they stung you in your sleep, and you did not wake up?
I didn't wake up, man. I didn't notice anything until I had gotten up the next morning. All I knew is it was sore as hell, and I did not know what to do with it.
Damn. Yeah.
So about 2 weeks after that, my buddy's mom, she's a retired nurse, so she ends up calling me out of my buddy's bedroom. I go into the kitchen. His dad was security at Western State for a long time, so he's not a small guy. He calls me into the kitchen, sits me down on the chair, and this giant behemoth of a man walks up, puts his hands down on my shoulder, grabs my other hand, the swollen hand, slams it down on the table, and his mom comes walking out with a scalpel and just lanced my hand open.
And did that do the trick?
It did. It did.
Okay.
It was soaking in water for a couple of days, but, man, that was awful.
Now, did they tell you that
I've been camping since then.
Did they tell you they were going to do that, or did they just do it?
Oh, no, they didn't tell me anything about it, man. They called me out there. Everything was all good. Honestly, I thought my friend's mom was just going to give us some weed, so I didn't really question it at all. Again, I was 17 and stupid.
Yeah.
So,
Damn. Wow. My buddy, man, we were Boy Scout camp instructors. We had Army tents. They're surplus tents.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not enclosed. The floor is dirt.
Right.
You have wooden stakes in there and everything
Yeah,
else.
you just drape the thing over.
You have a cot. You have a trunk. That's basically it. So I wake up one morning and Brett's sleeping. He slept on his back. They're old Army, really heavy back sleeping bags.
Yeah.
So not like the kind that's like a mummy bag. No, they're like industrial. If they got wet, it sucked.
Yes.
I wake up, man. There's this perfectly coiled garden hose right on his thighs. I mean, it's perfect. And I look at it, it's just this big ass black snake. So I kind of just rub him real quick. I'm like, this is going to freak him out, but it's not going to hurt him.
Yeah.
So I was like, Brett, I need you to sit up real quick. He's like, what? I'm like, you need to sit up. And he sits up, and that snake is like literally a foot from his frickin' face. And he was like, Jesus Christ, man. He jumps the hell up.
Did it bite him?
Snake goes fine. Black snakes don't believe. They'll like bite a rat.
Right.
Or something like that. But they don't really have they don't bite people. But it's still, they're big. And obviously, they looking for a warm spot.
Oh, yeah.
Brett's thighs. Who Sucks Last is coming up at 4:30. Also, a very special announcement on the way in your emails next from the men's room at KISW.com.
In communities across the country, hourly Amazon employees earn an average of over $23 an hour, with opportunities to grow their career and their paycheck. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
With a detailed agent directory you won't find anywhere else, Homes.com is the only place to find the in-depth info home shoppers want. Very in-depth info. Looking for a listing agent's contact info? We've got it. The agent with the most sales in your price range? Easy. Specialized agents with all the up-to-date info on your dream neighborhood? We'll know them. A Pisces who enjoys long walks on the beach? You've got other sites for that.
Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by PBS, home of Ken Burns. Ken Burns films aren't just documentaries, they're national events. And his latest, The American Revolution, is the one you've been waiting for. When you think American Revolution, you probably picture tea crates in Boston Harbor, founders signing documents in Philadelphia, redcoats marching into battle. But Ken Burns, along with Sarah Botstein and David Schmidt, takes us so much deeper. This was a revolution that was bloody, complicated, and unbelievably consequential. It's a story of people, some you know and many you don't, who risked everything to change the course of history. Their fight for independence lit a spark for freedom that still burns today. George Washington called it the cause of mankind. And John Adams wrote to his wife Abigail, "Posterity, you will never know what it cost us to preserve your freedom." With the American Revolution, Ken Burns and his team bring us a story that's vast, human, and deeply relevant. A story that belongs to all of us. Check out The American Revolution. Premieres Sunday, November 16th at 8, 7 Central on PBS and the PBS app. I can't wait to watch.
So I made the new Eggo protein waffles the other day for my kids, and they couldn't believe how good they tasted, or that they were packed with protein. They have the same great Eggo taste we all know and love, plus 20% of your daily protein. They seriously taste amazing. Whether it's part of your breakfast before school or a quick bite before practice, new Eggo protein waffles and pancakes are an easy way to keep everyone happy. Head to your local grocery store to fuel your morning with Eggo protein waffles and pancakes, available at retailers nationwide.
No matter why your clients give, their donations can do so much more with a donor-advised fund from DAF Giving 360. They can donate cash, publicly traded securities, or other non-cash items like real estate and even crypto, while recommending grants at any time. DAF Giving 360 can offer you over 25 years of expertise, bringing donors, financial advisors, and even charities together to make a greater impact. Learn more at dafgiving360.org/advisors. dafgiving360.org/advisors.
In communities across the country, hourly Amazon employees earn an average of over $23 an hour, with opportunities to grow their career and their paycheck. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
me! That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
No matter why you give, your donations can do so much more with a donor-advised fund from DAF Giving 360. You can get a tax deduction upon funding an account, and your assets can potentially grow tax-free as you recommend when and where to give. It's a tax-smart way to maximize your charitable giving from a fund with over 25 years of experience, bringing donors, financial advisors, and charities together. Make a greater impact with DAF Giving 360. Learn more at dafgiving360.org.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
About 5 minutes away from a very special announcement, but first time for a few emails to the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail.
You've got mail. Couple on our question about sleep, guys. At a huge house party, my brother and I were drinking excessively, and sometime late, I couldn't find him. We organized a search party and found him sleeping in the chicken coop. Guys, when I was 14, I made friends with a new kid in school who came from a private school. He was kind of goofy and didn't have a lot of friends, but we had fun. Invited me to a party and then to spend the night at his place. I had no idea he was the son of one of the wealthiest families in the area. They owned several gas and service stations. House was massive. Woke up the next morning to being kissed. I opened my eyes, and there was an amazingly beautiful woman smiling. Then she just walked off. I woke my buddy up, freaking out, told him what happened, thinking she followed us from the party, and his parents are going to kill us. He said, that's my sister. Now this guy is tall, chunky, and not a good-looking guy. I said, dude, there's no way this lady is your sister. So he handed me a pic off his desk, and yeah, it's her, his half-sister, same mom, but her dad is a Hopi Indian.
Oh.
She looked like Whitney Houston on the 1987 album cover, nearly identical.
I would be happy if I woke up to that.
She was just happy I was pals with her brother.
So that's how she showed it. Thank you for being
that's unbelievable. Yes. Now time for one birthday. Brought to you by Men's Room Roasted Red Salsa from San Juan Salsa Company.
Dip responsibly.
By the way, we still have some in the refrigerator, and I still have a bag of chips if anybody wants to get it.
Oh, nice. All right.
Add some sour cream. Let's see here. Bachola's our son, Theron. He turns 13 today. He's grown so much, and we're so proud. So can we get a big old fart medley and Coach Ted to help him decide whether to run middle school track or play baseball this spring? Lots of love from Mom and from Dad.
All right, Theron. Let's hope you don't wake up with your stomach like that, son. It's be bad for any sport. Now, listen. Coach can't tell you which sport to pick, but Coach can tell you this much. It's middle school, right? Feel like the cross-country team, well, was it track or cross-country?
Track. Whether to run middle school track or play baseball.
Track. Feel like track's always going to need a few more runners. And if you have any interest in still playing baseball, maybe get it in middle school because that'll get tougher to stay on as you get to high school, but you'll still be running. Now, with that said, I think pick the sport you like and go do that one.
Right.
But baseball, you're only going to have a smaller roster. Track, you'll have different distances, long distance, shorter distance.
Hurdles.
Right. And you can keep running in the offseason. It'll help you if you're playing baseball, too.
That's a strong point. Okay. Track probably won't hurt you in most sports that aren't wrestling.
I tell you what.
Track guys are generally thin, strong, but very thin.
Well, you can always do like shot put. You can do discus.
Yeah,
you can
that's
do
a good
javelin.
point.
You can do high jump.
And I wrestled for a year. Unfortunately, there was still a lot of running.
Yes,
even before you got to the goddamn practice.
You got to make weight. All right, guy, here you go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
In communities across the country, hourly Amazon employees earn an average of over $23 an hour, with opportunities to grow their career and their paycheck. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
With over 25 years of experience, DAF Giving 360's donor-advised funds can help you get a tax deduction and potentially grow your charitable dollars tax-free while you recommend when and where to give. Learn more at dafgiving360.org.
Is your business ready for what's next? Think about where you want to be in 3 years, 5 years, 10. Growth isn't about numbers. It's having the right specialist by your side. Moss Adams and Baker Tilly have joined forces to create a remarkable new organization. It's one advisory firm with resources, expertise, and vision built specifically to serve the middle market to help you get to what's next. Learn how Baker Tilly can help your business pursue its vision of success. Visit bakertilly.com/combo.
This podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Lotion Tissues. You can't predict sick days, but with Kleenex Lotion Tissues, you can be better prepared for them while helping keep your skin healthy. Whether it's a surprise sneeze or a stuffy nose, it's always good to have something gentle on hand. Kleenex Lotion Tissues moisturize to help prevent skin irritation while you're battling those unwanted cold and flu symptoms. It's extra care when you need it most. I mean, why not have one less thing to worry about when you're not feeling your best? For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Thank you, Moment. Now time for a very special announcement. We are very happy once again to announce that the Men's Room Holidays Holiday Porter is back from Black Raven Brewing Company.
That is good news.
Nice. This beer is absolutely fantastic. I'll be honest with you. I am not the biggest porter fan in the world. This might be one of the best porters I've ever had.
I'll agree with you there. I'm the opposite of you. I enjoy porters. I'm not big on those stupid, holiday releases and all the weird taste. This thing is dynamite.
Now,
this thing is absolutely dynamite.
It's a limited time release. Well, we did it last year. It's only available on tap.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Holidays Holiday Porter has notes of rum, chocolates, vanilla, orange peel, and holiday spices. And as they say, Holidays is a special brew inspired by some legendary balls. That would be Grandma's rum balls, that is.
I remember that.
Chocolate with rum in the middle.
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
Come on, Grandma.
Man, oh man. It's an outstanding brew. We have some of the locations early on draft.
Do they already have it?
We know that it's been delivered.
Okay.
So like anything
might not
else,
be on tap yet, but it's at the bar.
Correct. Every once in a while, they got to wait for
something else to blow.
A keg to blow.
Yeah.
That's why I hang out in the bar, just in case it's my turn. But as soon as they get that tap in.
Hi, my name's Keg. Craig.
Exactly. Hook me up.
What up, Craig?
Men's Room Holidays Holiday Porter will be available, if not already, at Zeke's Pizza locations.
Thank you, Zeke, man. Zeke has always been good to us, man.
Has anyone been to Wibbly's Gourmet Burgers?
Wibbly's?
No. I don't think I've heard of that, but they got gourmet burgers. I'm in. Ted, one of your favorites, the Westie, over there near Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Oh, Westie Roosevelt. I love that spot.
That's where you get your lemon pepper wings.
Lemon pepper wings, delicious.
You know, Holidays Holiday Porter.
Their burgers are good, too.
I have not had a bad meal, though.
Also available at the West Side Tavern, the Sunnydale Saloon, which sounds like my kind of place.
Oh, I've been to the Sunnydale down there in Burien.
Of course you've been.
Yeah.
What kind of how many Ted's been to? The Roanoke Inn.
Yes.
Oh, Roanoke
Been
Inn.
to the Roanoke, for sure.
Where's that?
Mercer Island.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Great old school spot. They have a fireplace.
That's the review.
And they have a delicious
you
corn
can have an
and
Holidays
crab
porter,
chowder.
sit down near the fireplace.
Yeah, have that corn and chowder.
How about the Riverside Tavern?
Ooh, not sure. Where's it at?
Riverside of it.
All right.
The Red Robin Factoria location.
Haven't been to the one in Victoria, but certainly been to Red Robin.
Also available at the Rainier Bar and Grill. That is in the old brewery.
Oh, yeah.
They got a full bar in there. They've carried the Men's Room IPA before, the 20th anniversary lager. Of course, you get in there and get a tall Rainier as well.
As well, sure.
What else we got here? Oddfellows Pub and Eatery Tacoma.
I don't know the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
You been there?
Yeah, because there's two locations. I've been to both of them. Me and Mike's been in there with me. They have like this pork candy on their advertisement.
God damn.
Here's one.
Such great food.
Go ahead.
It's not whether or not you remember you've been there, but you also have an immediate Yelp review.
Right.
That's what my buddy Chad was saying the other day.
All right.
One I can vouch for, the North Bend Bar and Grill. Get the salmon sandwich, the blackened salmon sandwich.
Yeah, they'll throw it on a Caesar salad for you, too.
Either way. What else
Great
we got?
spot.
Local Boys Tap Room.
Haven't been
that
there.
one.
Sounds fun.
Okay. Levitate Gastropub.
I've heard of the name, but I haven't been there.
How about the Iron Duck Public House?
No,
Sounds
but
like my kind of place.
I knew Levitate. That one, I think that's out in Issaquah. I think that's out on Front Street.
You may have been the one who told me about
Yes.
Levitate. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have great
Definitely
cheese
heard
dip,
of
dude.
it. Okay.
Oh, yep. Been there then.
In Issaquah, I might have been there too.
Yeah.
Is that in that kind of like little building with like 4 or 5 different things in it? Or is it a standalone?
It's right there on Front Street, so yeah,
Okay.
there's a handful out there.
The Boston Harbor Marina, which I'm assuming is in Boston, Massachusetts, but probably local since it's only a local beer. And finally, our friends at the 884 Pub.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Over in Britain.
Been there.
That's
So-
great. Another great spot.
As the locations increase, we'll let you know where the beer is going to be found.
Yeah, man.
Keep in mind, like all of our beers, a portion of that proceeds will benefit the 3 local Fisher houses. So you're doing some good there every time that you pick up a delicious Men's Room Holidays Holiday Porter.
If you go to the Roosevelt on Westy, they also have bubble hockey.
Do they?
Yeah.
USA, Russia?
Yes.
Of course.
USSR.
What other teams you going to put up there, man?
This is 2
If it's
initials,
bubble
right?
hockey, it's got to be that. Right?
Exactly.
Damn.
Speaking of drinking, coming up at 5:08, we'll drink and toast with the shout of the day. But first,
Now, the men's room wants to know who sucks last?
hey, time for Who Sucks Last. Stephen Throw, you bring us 3 stories from news each and every week. They always suck, but it's up to us to determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to like the Men's Room on Facebook or follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Last.
Yes, indeed. And like we said at the top of the show, I said, are you familiar with Duck, Duck, Goose? Because today we're calling it Duck, Doc Breaks. And by the way, Ted, so we did establish Duck, Duck, Goose, but you're sitting in a circle, one person is standing. They walk around patting your head. Each time they pat your head, they're going Duck, Duck, Duck.
Correct.
Now you say Goose, everyone gets up. They run around in circles. I don't remember, how does the game end? What do you do?
No, if you're the goose, you got to stand up and you got to chase that person around the circle. You got to try to tag them before they sit where you were sitting.
Okay, thank you. It's
That's the way I remember.
It's been bugging me for 2 hours. You're right. I'm like, how the hell does that game end? All right, so like we said, today is Doc Breaks.
Silly goose.
I know. 2 doctors, 1 set of breaks. So let us start with a doctor that's been accused of filming women's intimate areas while performing examinations on them after banning their partners from the room so that the women were more vulnerable, right? So you go there, your wife, doctor says, oh, hey,
You don't want to see this.
We can't let guys in there, right? Just so that he could film them. So a U.S. Army gynecologist, he used to work at the Tripler Medical Center in Honolulu, Hawaii. He's being sued for taking secret videos of his patients. Dr. Blaine McGraw, which sounds like a cowboy, he's been accused of secretly videotaping patients during intimate examinations. Now, the doctor has been suspended pending a police investigation. A law firm filed a civil lawsuit last week on behalf of an anonymous woman claiming to be one of the victims. And it states that complaints against McGraw, against this guy McGraw, began at Tripler in Hawaii back in 2019. However, it adds that Army leadership allegedly dismissed the warnings, laughed off credible allegations, and allowed McGraw to continue practicing. The petition claims that McGraw's conduct was not an isolated incident, but part of a known pattern. Law firm says that now more women have come forward claiming they had similar experiences with this guy. Attorney Andrew Cobo said, quote, "We had victims who gave us statements who said they asked for their husbands to be in the room with them during the appointment, but the Army turned them down, specifically this doctor. They said, no, your husband is going to have to wait in the waiting room during this procedure. Then they were left alone with Dr. McGraw." Now, one of the alleged victims filed a complaint stating McGraw recorded a pelvic examination on his mobile phone. He wasn't even trying to be subtle at that point. Now, McGraw is said to have since moved to Texas to begin practicing again at a different Army medical center, but the lawsuit claims that the complaints continued during his tenure there. So he started in Hawaii, moves to Texas, and apparently, if the complaints are to be believed, it's a pattern of behavior that he continues. We stay in the medical profession. Now we have a 44-year-old male nurse who worked at a hospital in Germany. Well, he's been accused of playing, quote, master of life and death with the patients that he was supposed to care for. So prosecutors presented evidence that he injected dozens of mostly elderly patients with large doses of sedatives or painkillers like morphine in midazolam, which is a muscle relaxant that's sometimes used for executions in the United States. Not to kill you, but to relax your muscles. But he had a simple goal. He's not trying to kill anyone. His simple goal was to make his night shifts easier. Not making this up. The defendant, whose identity has not been made public, he testified to court that he had simply tried to put his patients to sleep because, and I quote, sleep is the best medicine, and claimed that he had no idea the drugs that he used could be lethal. Now, prosecutors accused the nurse, who had been working at the hospital for about the last 5 years, of showing, quote, no motivation and no enthusiasm while performing his duties, and showing a complete lack of empathy toward the sick patients in his care. Their investigation found that the patients who needed the most care only irritated him. He's that guy. He doesn't want to be there. So a court in the city of something I can't pronounce, they recently convicted him to life in prison without parole for the murder, intentional or not, of at least 10 patients in the attempted murder of 27 others. Wow. In 18 months. But investigators are reportedly looking into several other suspicious cases during his medical career. So he's like, you're whining, you need all this crap. Let me give you a sedative so you go to sleep and leave me alone. Some of them pass out. So those are the doctors. So as we call this Doc Breaks. This story is kind of insane. So imagine driving away in a recently bought luxury SUV, only to find that the brakes hardly work. Now, that's not the end of the world because brake pads wear off. You can just replace them. But what if you find that the car doesn't even come with licensed brake pads? That's what happened to a German motorist who discovered that the Mercedes GLE that he had bought at an auction was equipped with brake pads made of wood instead of real brake pads. In fact, there was a picture that accompanied this. It's unbelievable.
Ye old brake pads.
The ye old brake pads, yes. You only get them at the Renaissance Festival. The man, who has not been revealed by German media, he told police that he had realized something was wrong with his used Mercedes GLE the moment that he pushed the brake pedal after buying it at the auction. The car barely slowed down, no matter how hard he slammed the brakes. So he called the tow truck, took it straight to a repair shop. Upon inspecting the brake system, the mechanics found that instead of authorized brake pads, the SUV was equipped with wooden pads with the word Brembo scribbled on them in permanent marker. Now, they offered almost no stopping power and had already damaged the vehicle's actual disc. Says this is not even amateurism, but criminal sloppiness. That, according to a technical safety expert who helped with the investigation. Adding that wood wears out almost instantly when rubbing against metal disc and has no chance of stopping a 2-ton vehicle. German police, they've opened a criminal case against the former owner for interfering with the car's critical security elements, like braking. But the reasons for replacing vehicles' brake pads with wooden blocks remains unknown. Okay, so those are your stories. We have the doctor, gynecologist with the Army, who repeatedly has been videotaping women during their examinations. We have the doctor in Germany who, oopsie-doodle, ended up killing 10 people because he just wants to sedate them so that they'll leave him the hell alone during his night shift. And finally, the car that was bought at auction that has wooden brake pads.
Ted, in my mind, the German nurse obviously sucks the worst. 10 people died or more. Gynecologist in Hawaii is second on the list as far as just being a creep, and the fact that he's still practicing. And they still allow him to do that, which is ridiculous. So even though that guy could have died who bought the Mercedes or killed someone else,
that's the issue.
The fact that he didn't in this instance, I'm going to say against the other two, that story sucks the least.
I'm already tracking with where you're going, Ted. Just the idea, hey, those wooden brake pads, he just didn't die, but he at least would have injured himself, if nothing else, right?
Right, and can you imagine, just barreling into traffic because you can't stop your car?
In Germany.
Because it's got wooden brakes. So, I will agree with Miles. That one sucks the least. The other two are just so bad. The nurse in Germany, Jesus.
Yeah, and it was one of the muscle relaxers just giving them. And granted, it's Germany, but they're in the U.S., they use this for executions, right? He's like, I sure didn't.
And no offense, if they're that elderly, couldn't you just slip them a melatonin?
To get them to sleep?
Not saying you should be doing this to anybody, but...
Right, you could do a less damaging thing to get an elderly person to fall asleep.
Injected them, yeah.
Yes.
Debate continues on Who Sucks Less. If you like the Men's Room on Facebook or follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live. All right, coming up at 5:08, we'll drink a toast with a shot of the day. You are listening to the Men's Room.
To remind you that 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, here's John from Devil Dog Pet Company.
We run our family business from Sterling Heights, Michigan, but we can reach customers all over the country thanks to Amazon. Good boy.
Shop small business on Amazon.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
Me!
free.
That's why California psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
No matter what you give, your donations can do so much more with a donor-advised fund from DAF Giving 360. You can potentially grow your charitable dollars tax-free and give now or over time by donating cash, publicly traded securities, or non-cash assets like real estate and crypto. With over 25 years of expertise bringing donors, financial advisors, and charities together, DAF Giving 360 can help you make a greater impact. Learn more at dafgiving360.org. dafgiving360.org.
Is your business ready for what's next? Think about where you want to be in 3 years, 5 years, 10. Growth isn't about numbers. It's having the right specialist by your side. Moss Adams and Baker Tilly have joined forces to create a remarkable new organization. It's one advisory firm with resources, expertise, and vision built specifically to serve the middle market to help you get to what's next. Learn how Baker Tilly can help your business pursue its vision of success. Visit bakertilly.com/combo.
This podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Lotion Tissues. You can't predict sick days, but with Kleenex Lotion Tissues, you can be better prepared for them while helping keep your skin healthy. Whether it's a surprise sneeze or a stuffy nose, it's always good to have something gentle on hand. Kleenex Lotion Tissues moisturize to help prevent skin irritation while you're battling those unwanted cold and flu symptoms. It's extra care when you need it most. I mean, why not have one less thing to worry about when you're not feeling your best? For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
All right, so coming up at 5:08, we'll drink and toast with the Chow of the Day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick take with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Well, thank you, Miles. A new study found those suffering from anxiety have lower levels of the brain nutrient choline.
Oh, my God. What is choline?
I have no idea.
Well, now I'm anxious as I don't have choline.
Do they even tell you where you get choline? Like, what is the source of choline?
Eggs, meat, fish, and soybeans.
All right.
They were basically saying that if you are suffering from anxiety, give that a shot. Try to up that in your diet.
So it sounds like it is related directly to protein.
A little bit.
Or is that vitamin B12?
Eggs, meat. Oh, okay.
Right. Eggs, meat, fish,
something.
And so it is responsible, if I'm not mistaken, for memory and some sort of processing. I forget what it was. It said it in this. I don't know. I didn't work on it, but that's basically what they were saying. And they were testing. They found that those that were suffering from anxiety had, all of them had about 8% lower than normal, or lower than those without it. So they just said basically add more choline-rich foods into your diet to see if that doesn't curb it a little.
I've been screaming that from the mountaintops.
A new bee has been discovered in Australia sporting devil-like horns on top of its head, earning it the name Lucifer.
Did you see that thing?
Oh, yeah.
All I did, I saw the headline, I saw the picture. I didn't read another thing. I'm like, good to know.
What did he think to himself? This stinger's not good enough. I need more weapons.
I need
No
horns.
matter what I do, I want to hurt you.
I need antlers.
Yeah, I mean, God, I just looked at the picture. I'm like, do you need to exist?
I'm going to sting you from the front side.
Yeah, I know.
The number of people diagnosed with TB is increasing.
Tuberculosis?
Yeah, TB's on the rise.
Tick bitties.
And whooping cough, measles.
But deaths continue a downward trend as far as tuberculosis goes.
You're going to live. You'll be miserable.
You're right.
But you'll live. Well,
You're going to have it, but
we have the things to combat it.
Sure.
Just throwing it out there.
We know how to.
That's why you can keep the death rate down. Because you already have the stuff in place.
Yeah.
You know.
You just know how to solve the problem. Put your thinking caps out, boys. Time for the Merriam-Webster word of the day. I give you guys 60% to get this one right. It is a verb and an A word that means to accept without objection and to remain or continue. If somebody cannot someone or something bad, unpleasant, they cannot tolerate or accept that person or thing.
Ascertain?
Ascertain. Not a bad word, but not the correct response.
And accept is not the word.
Has to do with
right.
Bad?
So it's like I can accept, but if I can't accept this from you, then
I cannot A-word this.
I cannot.
To accept without objection, to remain or continue.
Not a good word.
People usually do this concerning the law, or at least they should be.
Abate.
Abide.
Abide. Oh, the dude abide.
Yeah,
abide. The dude abides. There you go. Wendy's has decided to close the doors of hundreds of stores in the U.S.
Boo!
I know. I like Wendy's.
I do too.
I feel like it's underrated.
You don't realize how good a single cheeseburger is, do you?
Yes.
It's like, this is great. Single with cheese.
They said they're doing it to save money, but at the same time, they just spent a bunch of money to tell us about tendies.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I thought that they had one of the best fast food fries in the game. I really do. I know that they got crapped on, but I liked them.
But there's something not fun
them.
about it.
Yeah. They got baked potatoes.
See, and I'll switch out the fries for a small chili.
There you go.
Because I think a chili's great.
I think they were the ones that really kind of popularized fries in the Frosty, fries and ice cream.
Yep. Well, sure. I mean,
so I feel like that's where everybody really started it.
You can't drink our Frosty.
Right.
So
That's one they've never been on, having a milkshake.
Yeah.
I mean, they're Frosty to the death.
Yeah.
It's great. So that sucks.
You see that video going around? The guy, his wife's in a chili cook-off, and he goes to Wendy's and buys, they make, giant servings of the chili.
Yeah.
Then he just puts it in a crock pot. He doesn't win, but he comes in, second. Then he's like, I got to confess, it's Wendy's. And he's like, well, it was really good.
A new survey found that people can't tell the difference between real music and AI-generated music anymore.
Well, the number one country song in America right now is by an AI-generated artist.
But what would tip you off?
Right.
I mean, that's the thing about it. What would tip you off that it's AI? I don't think there's any way to tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with
the
you.
one that I heard, it sounded like Chris Stapleton or
sure.
Somewhere in that vein.
Gotcha.
Sturgill Simpson-ish, kind of old school, but with a new twist. But that's supposedly the hottest selling or downloaded song right now in country.
The only thing I'm trying to figure out, so I did read something today that some AI artist just got a $3 million record deal. And I'm like, who gets the money?
I don't know. There's an AI DJ that I want to say Deadmau5 brought out at Red Rocks, and she was just supposed to be there.
It's just a video screen and the beach of the beach.
I just don't know why other artists would promote this, because now you're promoting your career ending. Maybe.
Yeah, basically.
And look, I've done it. I've sat in my buddy's office and we made some AI EDM songs, and they were good.
Bangers.
Try to sell
bangers.
Somebody got a $3 million contract. They said the AI artist did. Obviously, it did not. But somebody made money on it, and you literally have to do nothing.
Exactly. Studies suggest that your brain may learn best while fatigued. I have no idea why. I didn't read the study.
If that's the case, good news for parents everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you're more productive if you're hungover in a weird way.
I think you're almost more committed to get something done.
You gotta fight through it.
Because you really don't feel like doing it. So you kind of put your all into accomplishing something. I'm not saying this is the way you go through life, but certainly there are moments where I'm like, I feel like absolute crap, but the house is spotless.
Well, I mean, look, you do it in sports. You do it in the military.
You know what? That's a good point. Yep.
You always practice till exhaustion, and then, like in basketball, now hit your foul shots.
Sure.
Or 2-minute drill at the end of the second two-a-day to see if your brain can still compute and do that stuff, right? Or military guys got to go through basic training to get you as tired as could be, and can you remember so it turns into instinct? So that makes sense.
It does. That makes sense.
Sure. A new study found that 10 weeks of fast-paced brain training games could offset a decade of decline.
Wow.
Yeah.
My wife will live forever.
That's a fact.
She plays games on her phone, but they're all brain teasers. I'm like, I don't even want to play these with you because I got to think too much.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, and that, her and my son, man, they just hunkered down on that stuff.
Dang it!
I just want to shoot things or drive. To me, if I'm to play a game, am I driving? Am I shooting something? If I got to think, I don't know.
No, I just thought in general, I like that. It's the cowboy lifestyle.
And in general, take.
Yeah, I want to shoot guns and drive fast.
But I know what you're thinking, Mike. What are these brain teasing games that we can play?
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
So this comes to us via healthline.com, and it is the 10 games and puzzles to exercise your brain.
All right.
Now, the number 10 one that they put on the list, I took these things a little bit out of order because some of them are promoting, apps and whatnot, and I wanted to find actual physical games that we've all played to some degree, possibly. So the 10th one I've got on the list is a game called Azul. I have only played this game. Azul, like Spanish
blue.
for blue,
Yeah.
correct. I've only played this game one time at one sitting, and it was actually a ton of fun. So it's a tile placement game in which players compete for the highest score by claiming tiles and arranging them on their boards to score points.
Okay.
Great game to play with the family. I 100% agree. I feel like you can find it in most places. It had never been on my radar.
Is it
got pulled out.
Is it Mahjong?
Mahjong.
Isn't that loosely speaking kind of the same thing? Right.
Yes. So it's kind of got that same vein about it, if you've ever played that one. They go with the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, listen, I just stopped doing that because I'm an idiot.
But there's got to be, Gregor's one of the best.
My son actually asked about Gregor. Over the weekend, we brought up Rubik's Cubes, and anytime my son comes in, you walk by Gregor's office, and he goes, who's the guy that has the one that's like 5 squares across? I said, it's freaking Gregor, dude. Listen,
But once you understand the basic way to solve,
sure,
then is it entertaining anymore? Once you get the formula down,
right?
It might just take and I would cheat. I would look at a YouTube video or something like, all right, what am I looking for?
Well, maybe that's why he went up to 4 and 5 across.
Just to make it more
because
of a
the
challenge.
math's going to be different than it will be for 3 across, right? And he obviously can nail that in a billionth of a second. Maybe that's the way he does it. I don't know.
Do you know how many possible moves there are on a single Rubik's Cube? On your standard Rubik's Cube?
Are you seriously asking me this question? No.
Give it your best shot. How many possible moves can you make?
1,800.
1,800. I like it. 43 quintillion possible moves.
Okay. My answer explains why I'm not good at Rubik's Cube. Jesus,
It's the world's best-selling and most famous puzzle. This portable game is perfect for stimulating the brain during idle time. Rather than scrolling through social media or watching a show when you're sitting in a waiting room, try solving the cube. I have tried multiple times. I have even looked up videos on how to find the formula. And it's one of those where it's like, it's never stuck in my brain on how to do it.
To me, you do it, if you're in an otherwise good mood and just want to be pissed off, do a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
This damn thing. Something wrong with it.
Wordle shows up on the list of fun little brain games that you can do.
Wordle.
Yeah, they're all over the Wordle, too.
Yeah. That is one of my wife and I's nightly rituals is that we will just solve the Wordle puzzle for the day.
Again, my son and my wife, they definitely hunker down on that one every day. No, don't use that letter. We already used to hear blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm just going to turn up the TV while you guys do this.
Right. And it'll get you angry because you'll start using words that are crazy combinations, and then all of a sudden, if you lose, it'll be like, actually, the word was
cloud.
Thief. Right. Like, doggone it. But I found that I am right in the swing of 3 and 4. Sometimes I've gotten a couple in 2 where I've gotten lucky. My wife is the sole holder of the shot it in 1 record.
I found that Wordle works for me. When my wife starts it, you hear her getting frustrated. I guess you have a limited number of attempts.
5.
And there's something about not being involved in the process. So she'll show me her phone. I'm like, well, obviously it's thief. It's just, but that's not where her head is because she's gotten too deep into it and you overthink. But I can just look at it like, what the hell else would it be?
I feel like if you played it, Steve, you would get it just as quickly.
I don't know, man.
Man, I'm telling you.
I don't know. Actually, my daughter excels at that.
Solitaire shows up on the list.
Oh, yeah.
I used to play that a lot on the computer.
Yes. Just playing cards, man. No matter what you're doing. Now, I agree that having it on my phone, I have burned so much time on planes. If I, for whatever reason, the Wi-Fi on the plane went out, or I don't have enough time to watch a movie or a TV show and I don't want to get involved, they shut it off when you're on the ground. Playing solitaire on my phone is just how I pass by the time.
Just like Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah. My granddad.
It's wild. That ad's everywhere.
My granddad had like one of the original Mac computers. Had a Macintosh Classic 7 or something like that. I forget. He spent the entire time playing free cell on the thing.
I can believe that.
That's all he did was play solitaire.
It becomes like a home arcade.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, we got a computer, right? A home computer when I was like a junior in high school. And the amount of times I played solitaire in that thing would blow your mind.
Yes.
Did you play it with actual physical cards? Because my father would play it with physical cards all the time when I was a kid, then got a computer, and basically he stopped using the cards, went to the computer, played the same game.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've ever played solitaire with real cards.
Really?
I think I've only done it on apps or on a computer.
Yeah.
Games and puzzles to exercise our brain. Jigsaw puzzles show up on the list.
I can't stand those.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Jigsaw puzzles are great because they exercise both the left and right sides of your brain at once. They require both logic, intuition, and creativity, and it's easy to get lost for hours working on them.
That's my problem because I'm hours of anger.
Yes.
This piece has to fit somewhere.
I would probably do more if my cat wouldn't jump up and start eating them.
Oh, jigsaw puzzles are the big 300-piece ones?
Yeah, that's
as many pieces as
Typically 2,000 is the standard big one.
Yeah.
Did you know that every one of those pieces is cut the same?
Yes.
I didn't know that until like a couple of years ago, and I was like, huh.
I found out with you.
I'll be damned.
And it doesn't help me.
No.
They
That
do have
would
some
be fun,
really
though.
weird cut designs, though.
Yeah.
You look at them, and you're like, this is impossible. It's like done in a circular shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It is wild. I've wanted to see if I could, make the puzzle where every other piece was a different puzzle and then just make two
Because
simultaneous
the cuts
puzzles.
are the same?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Chess shows up on the list.
Well, sure.
If Queen's Gambit wasn't inspiration enough, playing chess results in better brain function, improved memory and cognitive abilities, strategic thinking, and increased attention spans. In a 2019 research review, scientists found that the cognitive benefits of chess could help protect older adults from dementia.
There's a kid on my son's soccer team, and he's 12 or 13. Either way, he is like a ranked chess player, both
nice.
State and national. So when we go out of town for the volleyball tournament, he'll sit in the lobby, and he takes on like the 18-year-old kids, the 16-year-old kids. He will play against 4 people at the time, and he's just like, I'm going to beat you in the next 3 moves, but I'll explain what I'm doing. So he played me. I made 2 moves, and he's like, all right, I'm going to drag this out a little bit so I can. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he explained to me what he was going to do based on 2 moves.
Right.
He's like going to be checked.
I'm going to box you in right here.
Jesus Christ.
Even if you adjust it,
brother,
wouldn't matter.
No.
This kid, I'm telling you, he understood. He gave me his general strategy, which is cool. Like a general strategy in football, win. But he actually understands like every single possible combination of any move that you make, and he knows how to take it out.
The thing with the adjustment there, Ted, is he literally boxes you into where you have to follow where he's going.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, he's going to kill you right there.
That's it. So you are dragging it up. Basically, it's like the killer whale playing with it. Well, you're going to die. I just haven't killed you yet.
Right. I'm dragging this out to where you have no choice but to lose.
I'm having fun beating you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's wild. I've wanted to learn and get to that point. I can play chess. I just wouldn't say that I could play it with the best of them. I couldn't play it with even the adept. I just get dragged the entire time.
All right.
And I enjoy chess. Crossword puzzles show up on the list.
Yep,
that's my favorite.
I enjoy those.
Research from 2022 indicates that crossword puzzles help with knowledge retention. This brain activity helps you improve verbal skills and forces you to think deeply. And that is another one that we did for the longest time because we had the New York Times app on our phone, on my phone rather, and they had a free mini one every time. And it was just a little guy. It was maybe 5 or 6 by maybe 5 or 6, depending on the day and what all they did. And then they doggone paywalled the thing. So
Did they?
Yeah,
Man.
It was a free one every day, and then they put the paywall up there. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, my wife and I used to do that together. Then we had kids, you just didn't have time.
No.
But that was our Sunday ritual. And it kind of took all day. Work on it for an hour, do other things, come back, work on it for an hour, do other things,
Yeah. I don't think I've ever completed a big one to where I felt confident with the answers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Who delivers the New York Times Sunday paper now? Amazon?
Probably.
I'm just curious who goes every Sunday, unless, you
can go to a place and buy them.
Well, I know, but I mean, like, if you have a subscription.
I did.
Who puts that thing on your door?
There's still got to be paper delivery guy,
UPS?
right?
There is.
I don't know.
There
I mean,
is.
but for the New York Times.
But the
Like here in
difference is,
Seattle.
it used to be if you were the paper boy, it's every house or every other house. New York Times might be my house, then it might be your house.
Yeah, then I'm
like,
going to Magnolia, then I'm jumping to Queen Anne Hill,
Right.
then I'm like, it's got to be somebody like UPS or Amazon.
Right?
The New York Times depends on your location with independent contractors and local delivery services.
Okay.
Could be a
Sudoku.
Pizza Hut guy.
Exactly. Sudoku shows up. It's a number puzzle where you fill in grid numbers 1 through 9 with each number appearing only once in a row, column, or box. The classic game makes you think critically and helps improve concentration skills. While many mobile options are available nowadays, nothing hits harder than playing with a pen and paper.
I've never played it.
I loved playing it. There was a hot minute there, especially when I was traveling. I had a Sudoku book, and I would just crawl through that thing. And it is a fun little brain exercise. That's exactly what it is.
All right.
And it's just brain candy for me.
Now, somebody here says expert level Sudoku and other solitaire games keep my mind alert. Sudoku definitely doing well.
Yeah, the expert level Sudokus, they can get real wild with it. It's been a minute since I've looked, so I don't remember fully what the more advanced versions look like.
Yeah.
But they can get pretty intense sometimes.
To me, they look like nope.
I'm out. Don't want it. But then this, according to Healthline.com, is the #1 game and puzzle to exercise your brain. We've all played it. We all hate it.
Oh. What does your wife mean when she says, I'm fine?
Now you pull out the dictionary and play you a game of Scrabble.
Oh, yeah.
On top of bringing out competitive spirit in every age group, this classic word game works to enrich your vocabulary and train your mind to focus on a single task. With an entire dictionary of words to choose from, every round is different, and you'll never tire playing this game. It's been around since 1948.
But why is there a Scrabble dictionary just versus the dictionary? Because people would argue, this is not a word, right? And maybe you know it is, the other person doesn't. But it's not in the Scrabble dictionary. But if you open, I don't know, the Oxford dictionary, you're like, there's the word, man.
Yeah.
That's all
That is a big difference. I don't know.
Because the Scrabble dictionary is not nearly as thick.
Correct.
As a normal dictionary, right? So sometimes you just happen to know a word. Doesn't mean you're smart. You just happen to know this word. All right. And you play it, and someone says, man, I don't know that word. You can explain the definition. I don't know this word. They open their Scrabble dictionary. It's not in there. You open the real dictionary, it is, and they'll still argue with you. Yeah, but it's not.
They add tons of words every year too. So it's like anything else.
Scrabble.
Well, just based on what is a real word.
Sure,
so you have to keep up with it. How the hell you can do that?
Is ain't a real word? Can I play ain't in Scrabble?
I would let you play it.
Okay.
I think with the smartphone though, that should
You know what?
easy for everybody to
Well,
figure
can you
out.
play words with apostrophes?
No.
So then no.
You can do plural, but you can't do apostrophes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think ain't has an apostrophe.
A trio of prowlers right here at home picked the wrong place to commit the crime, Miles.
Where'd they commit that crime?
Tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink test can. Steve, throw a hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast 45-year-old Kim Kardashian, best known for being a vapid bag of butt. Well, in spite of that, Kim, as you probably know, she's actually been studying to become a lawyer in the state of California, inspired by, to her credit, the mistreatment or misrepresentation of certain parts of the population, right? Got to her about 3 years ago, and I want to say she's kind of dedicated herself to following through. So for the last few years, she has been on a mission, studying for the bar exam, hoping to follow in her father's footsteps. Well, she announced over the weekend that she successfully failed the bar. Now, look, no one is surprised except Kim herself. And I'm not toasting her or making fun of her for her failure. We're toasting her for who Kim blames for her failure. That's right, not her lack of studying, maybe just getting it wrong, as many people do when they take the bar. She's blaming her family's team of psychics. That is correct. This is her quote. Quote, all of the effing psychics that we have met with and we're obsessed with, all are effing full of S. They all collectively, maybe 4 of them, have told me I was going to pass the bar. So they're all pathological liars. Don't believe anything they say. Unquote. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from Kim Kardashian, who's studying to be a lawyer, that, hey, turns out the psychics might be lying to her and just taking her money.
Crazy.
And that's what it took her to figure out when she didn't pass the bar after 4 psychics told her that she's going to pass the bar. Maybe she'll ignore them next time, and I don't know, study. We'll leave it up to her. But she says she will try again. So we pour this booze, and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the hola bijola. All right, it's going to get tested now in line for Profile This, 206-803-ROCK. Profile This is next.
To remind you that 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, here's John from Devil Dog Pet Company.
We run our family business from Sterling Heights, Michigan, but we can reach customers all over the country thanks to Amazon. Good boy.
Shop small business on Amazon.
With over 25 years of experience, DAF Giving 360's donor-advised funds can help you get a tax deduction and potentially grow your charitable dollars tax-free while you recommend when and where to give. Learn more at dafgiving360.org.
Is your business ready for what's next? Think about where you want to be in 3 years, 5 years, 10. Growth isn't about numbers. It's having the right specialist by your side. Moss Adams and Baker Tilly have joined forces to create a remarkable new organization. It's one advisory firm with resources, expertise, and vision built specifically to serve the middle market to help you get to what's next. Learn how Baker Tilly can help your business pursue its vision of success. Visit bakertilly.com/combo.
This podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Lotion Tissues. You can't predict sick days, but with Kleenex Lotion Tissues, you can be better prepared for them while helping keep your skin healthy. Whether it's a surprise sneeze or a stuffy nose, it's always good to have something gentle on hand. Kleenex Lotion Tissues moisturize to help prevent skin irritation while you're battling those unwanted cold and flu symptoms. It's extra care when you need it most. I mean, why not have one less thing to worry about when you're not feeling your best? For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Health insurance rates in America are surging, leaving millions without affordable options. But Christians don't need to waste money on a broken system. Christian Healthcare Ministries is an alternative to health insurance at half the cost. With CHM, fellow believers contribute monthly to help pay each other's medical bills while lifting one another up in prayer. It's financial and spiritual support when you need it most. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/solution. That's chministries.org/solution.
To remind you that 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, here's John from Devil Dog Pet Company.
We run our family business from Sterling Heights, Michigan, but we can reach customers all over the country thanks to Amazon. Good boy.
Shop small business on Amazon.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Donor-advised funds from DAF Giving 360. Your clients can donate cash, publicly traded securities, or appreciated assets like real estate. It's a simple, tax-smart way to give. Learn more at dafgiving360.org/advisors.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Paul. Welcome to the Men's Room. Hola. All right, Paul, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. You have your choice today of one of three stories. Today, we offer you Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem. Seriously, where you guess the petty conflict that led to violence. And finally today, License to Spill, where you guess the substance responsible for creating the mess.
Man, I've always had a license to spill.
All right. License to Spill. A truck spilled a substance earlier today across a residential road, prompting cleanup efforts and renewed complaints from residents about trucks violating weight restrictions. Roz Sloan, she discovered the spill on her street when returning home. She said she saw unassuming drivers glide right over the top of the spill before cleanup crews even arrived. Now, when the crews got to work cleaning up the spill, Sloan said she was caught off guard by their methods. Quote, I noticed they were sweeping, and all the dust that is not good to inhale was just going everywhere. But what frustrated Sloan most was trucks repeatedly using the residential roads that they're not supposed to travel on. She says they're meant to be driving along designated routes like Bennett Road, which is miles from her street. Quote, they know they're not supposed to be going across the weight-restricted bridge, but yet they still do it and they sneak through. Sometimes that's their excuse, that they have a new driver. He doesn't know. I would imagine that if you were training them, that would be something you might want to let them know. And she said, well, it's a good thing that the mess was cleaned up quickly. She's still upset about the ongoing violations and the fact that the spill happened at all. Fair enough. The question is, what did the truck spill? Was it cement? Was it tar? Was it manure or was it biodiesel? So cement, tar, manure, or biodiesel. What was spilled on her roadway?
Man, I mean, if they're brooming it up, I'd have to go with manure. I mean, it's kind of a crappy story, but
okay.
What do you guys think?
Paul, I'm going to go biodiesel.
Okay.
And you didn't say how the truck spilled, right?
It did not say. It didn't say if it turned over.
Just keeps going
hit
over this
something.
bridge.
And it's in a residential area. There's obviously a reason for the weight limit, but it ended up spilling its cargo. I don't even know if the truck crashed or if it just spilled its cargo. None of that's in the story.
Did it give a state? What state it was in?
Man, I believe it's one of the Carolinas.
Okay.
I believe it's one of the Carolinas. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the poop.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna go manure.
All right. Or poop.
Paul
yes.
and Ted.
You said manure, right?
Poop. Oh, which is poop, sure.
All right.
What was spilled all over the roadway there? Was it cement, tar, manure, or biodiesel? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men.
In communities across the country, hourly Amazon employees earn an average of over $23 an hour, with opportunities to grow their career and their paycheck. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Donor-advised funds from DAF Giving 360. Your clients can donate cash, publicly traded securities, or appreciated assets like real estate. It's a simple, tax-smart way to give. Learn more at dafgiving360.org/advisors.
Men's Room.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Category license to spill on profile. This, we got a truck that spilled a substance on a street. The problem was trucks aren't supposed to be in that residential neighborhood.
That is correct.
Get off my street.
So they've complained about it a lot, which means either from the weight limit or that the spills have happened before, it happened again. Question is, what was spilled all over the roadway? Cement, tar, manure, or biodiesel?
And Paul, that is a question that we posed to you. Let us start with he went with biodiesel. It was not biodiesel. But Paul, you went with manure. Ted agreed. Went with poop. Same freaking thing. No. One of our more astute listeners there in the old YouTubes, David, he pieced it together. He said, look, they're sweeping up dust. I'm going to say concrete. It was, in fact, concrete.
It was cement?
So it was dry concrete?
It was dry concrete then.
Some of it. And the amount of time it took them to get there, the top layer had dried. That they could sweep up. The other stuff they kind of scraped off. Right. That's why people were driving through it.
Okay. Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today. You got the Jimmys.
Fallon and Kimmel.
Seth Meyers. Stephen Colbert. Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there the title. These guys have teams of talented writers help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine. Is this an actual late night joke and from whom? Or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Wendy's will close around 300 stores starting in late 2025. Well, I guess everything eventually... I'm sorry, folks. I can't read sometimes. Wendy's will close around 300 stores starting in late 2025. Well, I guess everything ends eventually, which was also the original slogan for the Baconator.
Ted Smith.
Seth Meyers.
Stephen Colbert.
Wendy's will close roughly 300 stores starting in late 2025. Well, I guess everything ends eventually, which coincidentally was also the original slogan for the Baconator.
Kraft Mac and Cheese is releasing an apple pie flavor for the holidays. Because if we can't bring down the price of groceries, the new strategy, I guess, is to just make you not want them.
Fallon?
Yeah, Fallon.
Seth Meyers.
Kraft Mac and Cheese is releasing a new apple pie flavor for the holidays because if we can't bring down the price of groceries, the new strategy is to just make you not want them.
I feel like somebody's going to serve that to their children, and they're going to ask for it all year round.
You think?
I don't know. Seems like an odd
You know
one.
what? You might be right. You might be.
Sean Diddy Combs is now working at the chapel in the prison he is in. They described it as, quote, he works at the chapel library where he describes the environment as warm, respectful, and rewarding. Not only that, he actually teaches in there as well. Mostly the Sodom and Gomorrah stories.
Seth Meyers.
Yeah. Ted Smith!
Ted
Smith! Yeah, I know this one.
I don't even need a book.
The USA is getting hit with a major cold snap as temperatures drop to record lows across the country. Temperatures drop quickly in New York. Between the marathon last week and temperatures this week, it's been a brutal time for nipples.
Seth. Fallon.
The U.S. is getting hit with a major cold snap as temperatures drop to record lows across the country. Temperatures dropped fast in New York between the marathon last week and the temperatures this week is a brutal time for nipples.
Maybe the nipples were excited. It's cold.
Awesome.
It's our time.
We're out.
A man snapped 65 cucumbers in 30 seconds to break the world record, obliterating the previous record of 50. Man, now breaking 50 cucumbers seems pointless.
Colbert.
Fallon. That's Colbert.
Meanwhile, it was just reported that a man snapped 65 cucumbers in 30 seconds to break the world record, obliterating the previous record of 50. Man, now breaking 50 cucumbers seems pointless.
Let's see. A couple things for the weekend. Obviously, we were gone for a couple days. Somebody already said it to Mike. I did text couple of my buddies on Monday. Happy birthday to the Marine Corps, 250. Yeah. And then, of course, happy Veterans Day. My dad was a veteran. But, you know me. I was like, I should watch something. So I was going through old war movies.
Don't blame Veterans Day for you watching a war movie or anything to deal with it.
What'd you watch? Hogan's Heroes?
I know, but it was a better excuse.
It is a better excuse.
She goes, what are you doing? Watch World. Well, the problem is, Shane Gillis has a joke about it too, but like World War II in color has always got me. But now there's a whole thing of just the Pacific Theater in color.
Yeah.
Which is brutal, right?
Yep.
And then now they got Vietnam in color. So I watched a lot of that stuff. And then I watched like a four-part series on Netflix right now about the Marines.
Okay.
I think they're just called Marine. And it's pretty interesting because, it's just showing you the different types of like everybody on there, right? And then don't chastise me for this. I want to say it's a squadron. They're all in Japan, but they're also on boats, right? Okay. So you have the gunners, you have the snipers, which some of them are scout snipers, which I guess now they're getting rid of. And then you have like the pilots too. As you forget in the Marines, they will fly some jets and they will also fly helicopters, like these attack helicopters. But seeing them prepare and drill and all this time is just super interesting. They all come from different backgrounds. A lot of them obviously are pretty machismo young men that are looking for something to do and this and that. But then also they looked at kind of the mental aspect of like some of these guys have trained so long, but they haven't been in combat.
Right.
And it's almost like this one psychologist was saying, like, some of these men and women that come back that don't actually go to combat almost have like a different, harsher version of PTSD as they feel like they never fulfilled their job.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I was like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like firemen. If you know a fireman, they'll never say this, but like the bulk of the job is injuries, car accidents, right? Like you want to go fight fire.
Of course.
Right. So if you you're a machine gunner, like you want to go shoot that machine gun.
Yeah. That's the point.
Right. But it's like nobody wishes for war. So it's just, it's super interesting. And then for all the like stuff you watch a civilian, like, oh, that'd be awesome to do and stuff. I also like they're just very honest about it. Like the one guy's like, look, 80% of this sucks.
Yeah.
He's like, there's 20% that's fun, hanging out with the guys and shooting the weapons. But he's like, some of it, and like a lot of them, they're Marines, but they're like, the one guy's like, I hate it. I can't swim. He goes, you get in these boats, the rubber boats, right? You're getting off a big ship at night. You know what that boat's made out of? He's like, it's just rubber. Right? He's like, it's frightening.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm scared. I've had a few Navy SEALs over the year, and I remember the one guy asking him, like, man, like, you jump out of those planes at night. Like, you ever get scared? He's like, what do you think? He's like, I'm swimming in the ocean, open, like, I'm jumping into black ocean at night. Right. He's like, yes, it was a Navy SEAL. He's like, I was so scared as hell.
Sure.
He's like, I know how to do my job. So, very good show. And I thought it did a good job of showing kind of the all aspects of that. Now, this just happened to focus on the Marine Corps, which is also funny, is they're on Navy ships.
Right.
And they're always kind of giving each other the business and different. And then also, there's just so many jobs. Like my dad was an infantryman, in the Army, right, in 69. And he had a Bronze Star, right? So he was in combat and stuff. But you forget, like, the Army's so big, they do everything.
Yeah.
Like, they show up. They could run a whole country if they needed to, right? And then, like, the Marines, like, these guys, it's like, well, if you're you got to be ready at the drop of a hat to go fight.
Exactly.
So, yeah, just kind of, the funniest line was they were like, oh, they got cardio machines. And they're like sitting there pushing these crazy weights. And they're like, what Marine do you think's doing cardio? So that was a pretty good show. And then I would also say, how about those Seahawks?
Oh, God.
Jesus. What a beautiful day. I was tailgating, had good seats at the game. Shout out to everybody that said hello. It was just, I don't know that I've ever seen Seahawks fans in a better mood.
What was the food at the tailgate?
Actually, the guy had pulled pork that he had smoked the night before, and pulled chicken.
Damn. Nice.
The pulled chicken, I'll be honest with you, usually I go pork. The chicken was phenomenal.
I can believe that.
And he said he cooked it down with some tequila, too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
To get hammered, eating a chicken sandwich.
I mean, I'm sure it cooks off. It's just one of those things. Given the choice, I'd always take pulled pork.
Sure.
So he's like, you got to try the chicken, dude.
Okay.
I was like, all right. But yeah, all the Seahawks fans are in a great mood. And then one of our listeners.
I want to say they are number one on both the ESPN and NFL.com power rankings.
Yes.
Which is completely arbitrary, but it still feels. It lets you know everyone recognizes that they're doing very, very well.
Right. And after spending Saturday specifically in a bar so I could watch Maryland lose, watch the Sounders lose on my phone, and watch the Huskies lose all in one sitting, it was very nice to see a team I enjoy win. We're not that far off from Halloween, so I've been sitting on this list for a little bit, but it's kind of interesting. It's like horror movies based off true or allegedly true stories.
Okay.
All right. So the first one I went to was The Exorcist.
Yep.
That was in 1973. I've always thought of that one as super scary because I grew up kind of near there.
Yeah.
That kid was in the same parish as my mom when she was a kid, so they always told the stories and everything. But that kid, he ended up growing up completely normal. He was a NASA engineer.
I've heard that, yeah. Went to work for that and didn't really want it to be known so much.
I still contend that it was the
My
house.
parents were freaked out, man. They're weird.
Well, because that house was in a neighborhood we call Mount Rainier, because nobody knew how to say Mount Rainier. Correct. And again, that police department, they thought they were being slick, and they put mountains on their squad cars, but they were like the Tetons.
Oh, good.
They were straight up and down. And I was like, did nobody look at a map?
Nope.
But that house I always thought was still haunted. That house burned down. There's a playground on it now.
Hey, kids, play here.
What could go wrong? Your head will spin around.
The Exorcism of Emily Rose from 2005. That's based on the story of a young German woman who died after nearly 70 exorcisms.
Jesus.
If you got to do 70 exorcisms, is the devil in her or is she the devil?
Well, I mean, how many did you do before you quit?
Maybe she just has mental issues.
It might, you know.
Poltergeist, they were like, look, no children were abducted. They weren't taken via TVs. There was just a lot of creepy stuff going on there.
Sure.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, now we all know because of Netflix, loosely based on the story of Ed Gein in Wisconsin. Amity Horror, if the house was haunted, why haven't any other occupants had trouble with the ghost?
Yeah, that's a good point.
It is, right?
Do people still live? Does someone live there now?
I guess they do. Annabelle, right? It's actually a Raggedy Ann doll, not some creepy porcelain thing. But The Conjuring, the first movie where we see that doll, that was based on real-life paranormal investigators. And the movies are based on their actual exploits.
Okay. So I wouldn't do that.
Right. And then we saw this year that doll was on tour, and one of the guys with it died. Natural causes, but still.
Weren't they like 39?
Yeah, natural causes.
I mean, I know you can.
I'm not saying there's anything to it, but there's also a thing like a bad luck charm. Right. So you just know.
That's kind of what I'm saying, too. Like, if you tell me there's a haunted house and somebody goes in there and has a heart attack, it's like, okay.
It could be coincidence.
It could be just coincidence.
It's like those diamonds that people say if they own them, you know, bad things will happen to them. Whether it's the Hope Diamond or any of that crap. It's like you just own it.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, bad things happen to everyone around you.
Yeah.
To me, that's just a bad luck charm.
I mean,
get that thing out of the house.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Who knows? Doesn't matter. Just don't own it.
But it is pretty interesting. And if you like all that ghost stuff, there's a ton of it on there and some of them real-life stories. What are you going to watch tonight? Got a little Maction on TV. Mike's always looking forward to Maction. He loves the Mac conference. It's his favorite thing in the world. You also have the second season finale of The Golden Bachelor.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. 100,000 trees in the Amazon rainforest are chopped down for an environmental summit. Meanwhile, a social influencer who faked having cancer sees her followers plummet. Amusement writer who fell out of the zipper had a 9-year-old on the controls. Main gym teacher sees making 3-pointers as one of his goals. And 3 car thieves in Olympia are busted while wearing really bad wigs. just like we did on Halloween. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, our top story right here at home in Thurston County, a trio of prowlers have been caught. They've been known to cause trouble in the area, but picked the wrong place at the wrong time this time around. They were caught arriving at the scene of a local property in a car without license plates that had been reported stolen earlier that day from a movie theater in Olympia. They were making their way onto the property when the call came in, but officers didn't have to go far, as there was about 15 deputies and the Thurston County Sheriff himself nearby for firearms training.
Damn.
The squad descended upon the trio and took them into custody. In spite of one wearing a hat and wig and the other providing a false name, they were quickly identified and arrested. Good work. Just walked right into that trap.
Jesus Christ. Of course.
Right?
It's like the guys that try to rob, like, Walmart right before Christmas. In spite of that, there's 200 cop cars in the parking lot, and it's like, cop will bring a kid to Walmart Day to buy him a toy.
Exactly.
At no point did you think when you saw a bunch of cop cars in a Walmart parking lot that maybe don't rob it today.
Right. Today's just not your day.
That story's going to happen within the next 6 weeks.
You know it is.
It happens every year. Like, Jesus Christ, guys. It's not like they're undercover cops. They're in uniform. They're all over the parking lot. The cars are in the parking lot. Like, what is wrong with
There's a fleet of cop cars.
And you still decide, like, you know what? I'm going to shoplift today.
That's right. They're going to be distracted. They won't see me coming. In other news, awkward situation in BC, Canada, just northwest of Vancouver. Authorities were called in after someone was injured on a ride at a local carnival. This is wild. If you've ever taken a ride on the Zipper, you know that it looks like that it looks and operates like a Ferris wheel if they squeezed it flat and added cages to the individual cars. Well, an investigation was launched after a man fell out of one of the cars after the ride was activated, and he was about 8 feet in the air when he fell, breaking multiple bones upon landing. What they found was the man was severely intoxicated at the time of the incident and was the second to get out of the car behind a friend. Unfortunately, he took a little too much time to get off the ride and was activated by the operator. What's more is the other carnival employee helping patrons on and off the cars was the son of the foreman, who's 9.
But here's the dude is drunk, the operator's 9. And obviously it's not a good combination, but you go like, this should not have happened.
Right.
So he was slow getting out of it after the ride ended.
Because he's drunk.
Then the 9-year-old fired the ride back up
because he's 9.
No. So the 9-year-old was helping people get in and out of the cages. Basically, that's what you can trust a 9-year-old to do, is to pop the cages open, get everybody out of it, put people into it, close the cage again, and seal it. And he actually did a damn good job of it. The thing is the 9-year-old is just there. The other guy had loaded up, I think, the last of his patrons or whatever it was, but he didn't see that there was a guy still trying to get out of it, so he just activated it. So it was the operator who was on it, not the 9-year-old. It was just that when the investigation came down, they're like, why is there a 9-year-old doing this?
Which is a fair question.
I mean, those things look terrifying enough.
Yes.
And they're always just like, sometimes they're not even at fairs. They're just in a parking lot somewhere.
Yeah.
And basically, the guy that was drunk was too drunk to have been on there. He had already been kicked out of the park the day before.
Jesus.
The day before?
The day before.
So he's just on a wicked bender.
Yeah, pretty much. And
he went back.
And he went in there, and the 9-year-old was he's 9, so he sees somebody's like, I guess he's good enough to me.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, but a report was filed by a BC safety regulator. That's going to be a fun one. We go to Brazil, where change is about to be talked about. 50,000 world leaders, climate change activists, journalists, and other high-profile guests are descending upon the country to sit at the table and discuss the issue of climate change in our world at this month's COP30 Climate Summit. And what location to hold such a summit? A forest that has been regarded for years as being at a quote-unquote ecological tipping point and could not afford much further destruction, believing that if a significant percentage of the trees were to be removed from the rainforest, the region as a whole would stop making enough rain, drying out, and turning into a grassy savanna. That's how fragile this thing is.
What they're saying, we're not serious about this, but this is all for show.
Which is why the summit is drawing criticism, as they've destroyed upwards of 100,000 trees to build a highway to usher in this horde of climate activism leadership. They've also touted that the sustainable nature of this highway, noting it has several wildlife crossings, protective fencing for vegetation, and bike lanes and solar-powered LED lighting, which is what we need in the Amazon rainforest.
Yes, all of that, but
Bike
not
lanes.
the trees.
Read the room, y'all.
Hey, like we said, there's rhetoric and there's receipts, right? So just do the math on it.
That was the only way to bring people into the summit, was to knock down 100,000 trees.
In Amazon. Or do it somewhere else.
Right.
It's a whole freaking planet.
Again, like the Amazon is a great place for it. Like, look how fragile this thing is. This thing can't sustain any more damage. Like, come on. What are we doing? Let's see here. We go to the lovely world of the internet where not everyone is as they seem. A now well-known influencer in the UK has come forward to apologize after she could no longer keep up to the charade. She admits that she first lied to a friend back in 2017 before she obtained internet stardom, where she made a mention that she had cancer. This eventually came to light with her followers, who then took it upon themselves to create a GoFundMe account to raise money for her treatment. But the problem is, she's perfectly healthy and, to her knowledge, has no cancer. She swears that she never took a penny from the charity funds and immediately shut it down, but also had just come forward to apologize to her followers for the lie, saying that she was in a, quote, dark place mentally at the time and did it to keep people close to her in her life. Now she uses her platform, or at least wants to use it, as a place to advocate for mental health awareness. She still has upwards of 3.5 million followers, something like that. And a lot of the comments on the video that she put up said, "It took you 8 years. We found this out 8 years ago that you were lying."
Some amount of small credit for you admitting it.
Right.
But it's also like admitting that you murdered someone.
But just in case those stories left a bad taste in your mouth,
thankfully there's good news.
We go to Maine, where a local PE teacher earned his spot. He's already broken a couple Guinness World Records in the realm of basketball, but sought to notch one more win by making the most three-pointers in an hour. The record was already set at a whopping 1,372 shots, and our boy wanted to have no doubt, aiming to reach up and over 1,500 by the time that he was finished. Unfortunately, he fell short of his personal goal, but did indeed exceed the record by a staunch 145 shots to bring the total up to 1,516 in an hour.
What if that was the NBA line?
So the
college line
for
foul shots?
No, for
three-pointers.
Three-pointers. So he also holds the record, Miles, for the NFL line three-pointers as well.
NBA.
Yeah, NBA. Sorry,
Yeah,
I said NFL.
yeah.
Yes, the NBA.
I was like, every time I look, it's farther out. I can't even keep up.
So he's done both.
Those NBA guys, they just can hit them from anywhere
They're
anymore.
so
I don't know what
good.
the answer is.
Men's Room Sports, you got some college football over on ESPN2 and CBS Sports, NBA basketball on CW and ESPN, college hoops on FS1 and ESPN Plus. That's Maction.
Nice.
And some hockey over on TNT. As far as your weather, should have some steady light rain overnight with a low of 52. Tomorrow they're expecting plenty of rain as well and a high of 57. The 40s are in the near future, gentlemen. Just be a couple weeks before that starts being the high. That's it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the return of Big Dummy. And the head chef is back with Ted's Meat and Potatoes. Lovely Jolene up in seconds.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this biatch. So until tomorrow, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
To remind you that 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, here's John from Devil Dog Pet Company.
We run our family business from Sterling Heights, Michigan, but we can reach customers all over the country thanks to Amazon. Good boy.
Shop small business on Amazon.
Donor-advised funds from DAF Giving 360. Your clients can donate cash, publicly traded securities, or appreciated assets like real estate. It's a simple, tax-smart way to give. Learn more at dafgiving360.org/advisors.
This podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Lotion Tissues. You can't predict sick days, but with Kleenex Lotion Tissues, you can be better prepared for them while helping keep your skin healthy. Whether it's a surprise sneeze or a stuffy nose, it's always good to have something gentle on hand. Kleenex Lotion Tissues moisturize to help prevent skin irritation while you're battling those unwanted cold and flu symptoms. It's extra care when you need it most. I mean, why not have one less thing to worry about when you're not feeling your best? For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Coming at you live from Auto Trader, here's New Car Energy.
They're searching inventory. You can make a budget for your wallet to help you succeed. It's smarter car shopping just for
Find
you.
your next ride at autotrader.com, powered by Auto Intelligence.
United Healthcare nurse Crystal checked in on a patient.
We do a routine call after surgery, and I could tell in her voice that she was struggling.
Crystal knew she needed help.
And I knew that this is very serious. This is like septic. This is life-threatening.
And she knew just what to do.
And I called the hospital and said, she's coming in, here are her labs.
And got her the help she needed.
I see my role at United Healthcare as a life-saving role.
Hear more stories like Crystal's at UHC.com. Benefits, features, and/or devices vary by plan area. Limitation and exclusions apply.